Hello and welcome to Final Show Films. Before you enjoy the following production, there's just a few things I'd like to get out of the way first. Starting off, I'd like to thank all of our Patreon supporters, especially our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic, Cat, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. If you'd like to support us, you can do so on our Patreon, patreon.com/fsfilms, as well as by following me on Twitter @JohnnyBates, following and subscribing to us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Senstaku, on YouTube, youtube.com/Senstaku, and on any of our podcast feeds, links to which you can find on my Twitter account. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I hope you have a good time. Bye.
Like that, I'm only used to a more traditional shape or a pendant.
Yeah, well, you know, ocarina shaped like teacup sort of thing. Hi, everybody! How's it going?
Hello!
I'm going to reach over here and get Rudy's face on camera.
That'd be nice.
Because Rudy has a lovely face and we all want to see it.
Is John's head like not in that camera? Because it was last
it
week.
was last week. His back of his head was on
As much as we love the back of your head, John.
Well, let's
Nope.
see what happens when I lean forward.
If you lean all the way forward, you get a little bit of it, but it's not bad.
So, how far forward I'm going to be leaning to roll my dice?
Yes.
Whatever.
They raise the camera. But these cameras are going to come in. Hi, we've been telling you for the past 2 years this is an ever-shifting situation down here, and that's still true.
It has never not been true.
Has yet to not be true.
I mean,
Our number one
We
sponsor
also
is
haven't
Giant
said necessarily improving. We've
Oh.
just said changing, so...
I have the new video intro, by the way. I forgot to put it on here before we went live, but thanks to Maureen Montee, who's another one of our new $25 supporters.
Yay.
And the advice for the day is keep running away, which, frankly, is probably decent most of the time. So anyway, when last we were together, we explored the basics of, hey, what are we doing here? We learned about the Dark Horse, and some of us also know about the Cutters, who are apparently a
pain.
bit of a pain in the side of Akuma, at least. And probably a bit of a pain in the side of anybody who might possibly be associated with the police force.
Which ones were the Cutters? I remember Dark Horse.
They're the flashy ones.
The Cutter, yeah, they're the flashy ones who are led by the crazy mage, who...
Is not afraid of paradox, apparently.
So he's right on the edge. It's not like Tarn, where he's just like, I don't care at all. But he really, really pushes the boundaries of what he can get away with. And he sort of kites it in this...
He takes a long time bleeding off paradox after every job.
Well, not just that. The way he does things is just overly flamboyant and special effectsy, and that's how he plays it off.
Have we met any
You have not.
there yet? Okay.
No, you have not met any of the
He
Cutters.
plays himself off as the Joker.
Yeah, you know, giant plumes of flame because, oh yes, no, I just carry around
But what
these
version?
chemicals that cause it.
The animated series.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right.
So, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and introduce who all of us are, since I've referenced a couple of us already. On my left,
I'm John, and I'm playing Galadir Alunai, my concept says Road Warrior Mage, so I'm going to say that one.
on my left or left,
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Taral. She's Urbana.
There you go.
on my rightest right.
Uh-oh. That's the rightest, right?
Yes, that's the rightest right.
Left.
Hey, I'm Rudy Torres. I'm Rudy playing Skylar Torres, the detective of the group.
On my immediate right,
That would be me. I'm Stan playing Duncan, who just shows up and punches things.
on my far left,
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Akuma, the Akashic gang boss.
and on my middle right.
Hey, I'm Zach, and I'm playing Dr. David Tarasu, the medical professional and moral compass.
That has not stopped being your title.
I don't know how cool Dave Tarasco is.
Not very cool.
When last we left off...
This is the world of darkness. I'm the moral compass here.
We're all screwed.
You're not moral or a compass.
Exactly, this is the world of darkness.
No, there are still morals in the world of darkness.
There-
just no one cares about
Yeah,
them.
there are still moral compasses in the world of darkness. We just ignore them as we have the entire campaign.
As you did before. It's actually
We
the
haven't
situation
changed.
is just more fitting to the world now. And so when last we left off, people had finished their morning routines and we were heading into the afternoon. Skylar was still at work, doing some investigation, I believe.
Yeah, I think that.
Was there any further investigation you were going to be doing in the afternoon, just so I can go ahead and...
I don't think so. I got the about the casino and the stores. The
Joetan.
Joetan.
Joetan. Dave
Sorry,
is...
I just saw what's on the back of your hand. Is that? That's awesome. Okay, cool.
It's kind of. I got it yesterday.
Nice.
And then you're at work as well, David, trying to...
Dave.
You've hit a bit of a
Dr.
moral,
D.
a bit of a dilemma, and you're trying to figure out what to do about it. We'll come back to you, and then you.
Yeah, I just hear that and I think Dr. Dragon. Dr. D.
I think of Doofenshmirtz.
Oh.
I mean, they're both incompetent villains.
See, Kim Possible's a much better show to pull from, though.
I don't know. They're both pretty good. And then you literally showed up to work.
I showed up.
Yeah,
I
you were
took a look,
contractually
I
obliged
took a hike.
to show up every day.
No.
How long that's for is completely...
Well, I'm going to go into the files and check Elizabeth's file just to see,
Okay.
get an address.
So, when Elizabeth was hired, they hadn't really cracked down on labor laws, and she was 12.
Yeah.
So your information on her is not great. Her home address is not, like, there's something listed here, but if you put, I'm assuming you have like a smartphone you put it into,
Right.
it doesn't,
Doesn't come
it
up.
errors. It's like, nope, that address doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So I'm going to go look for her.
alright. Roll me streetwise or subterfuge to try to
Subterfuge is manipulating people. Maybe
confuse
streetwise.
and misleading people. Okay,
Yes.
roll me some streetwise to see if you can find where.
What, like intelligence?
Streetwise
or-
no,
or
not
more?
wits.
Probably wits.
This is wits streetwise.
Wits and streetwise.
It doesn't matter. I haven't gotten that far yet. Okay, one success.
One success.
I mean, you know.
It's seriously, I don't care now.
Okay,
It's
I saw it.
spooky.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're not going to find her by early afternoon.
Okay.
Important updates needed. Download updates. I need help. Sorry, it's the Windows updates.
Oh yeah,
screen.
you have to hit the
Well,
bottom
no,
left
I
corner.
know what you have to do, but it was just funny because important updates needed. Download updates. I need help.
Yeah.
are two of the options. It's like this is a crisis center. If you need help and can't say it out loud, please hit this button. I need help with what? Everything. Sorry.
Okay.
Continue.
Alright.
So
So
eventually.
you'll find her eventually. So we'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay.
In the meantime, we've got our other three characters who are... Two of our characters are about in the same place.
She's learning from Tarn right
Yes,
now.
you're learning from Tarn, and you were just passing by the windows. So let's
He's
go
an
to...
upstanding individual.
I mean, he doesn't have any sort of police record on him, so... Let's go
It's
to
one up from
Akuma. Akuma, who just received a text message.
Right. What was that? It's been a week.
It is there any connection between the uptick in ice overdoses and it's like something about like is there any unusual is there anything unusual about the sudden uptick of ice overdoses in the area?
That's something I either should know or would have someone who can find out information. So.
That's yeah.
So ever since
Because I keep hearing about ice overdoses ever since I got here.
since the Department of Labor came in and basically really cracked down on human trafficking and labor laws, a lot of the profitability of the legal slavery has gone down. And it's been picked up. So you were there when there was a lot of human trafficking, and that was kind of the gig. There were still drugs, but without human trafficking, drugs have just been on the rise lately. As far as drug trading, so what is your gang's stance on drugs?
It's something to sell. It's not a product that we're not trying to skin people off of drugs. If they want to get it, we have it for them, but we're not trying to push it on people.
And what do you deal in all of the everything, or are you mostly
whatever we can get our hands on? Basically, we're not picky about illegal products that need to be moved.
Okay. You don't pass a lot. It's real easy to get drugs from the cutters.
Mm-hmm.
The cutters they flaunt themselves as your go-to gang for illicit stuff. Like, they advertise it openly.
Like the only thing the Black Dragons have never had a hand in is human trafficking, basically.
Yeah. As far as the recent uptick, Carl was a big drug dealer, but you have no delusion that by the end of the week someone won't have picked up his turf in drug trading. It's not... There's nothing supernatural about it. It's just money's gone here, goes here.
Yeah, but the overdoses, though, is that something that's picked up recently, or has it always been like that?
That 3 or 4 years. Again, since they cracked down on the labor stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just turns out the more drugs people use, the more people OD.
Yeah.
Also, it's easier for people to afford drugs when they're not wage slaves.
Yeah. So the message goes back. The rise in overdose activity more coincided with the rise in general drug activity with the fall of human trafficking in the island.
So I get that while I'm
You get a ding in your phone as you're just staring entranced at this paradox like storm.
So
That is the storefront.
Still staring, pull phone back out. Is there a name on the storefront?
The Clockworks.
Unrelatedly, does the Clockworks mean anything to you?
It's a mage you don't want to get in the way of.
Roll me perception alertness.
Me?
Yeah.
What difficulty?
You're staring enraptured, so we'll leave it at 6.
No successes. In fact, it's a botch. 3 ones and a 5.
Whoops.
He's looking straight at it and can't see it.
Okay. Thankfully, you can't botch this one that hard, so, You see nothing.
All right. Sitting back. This place is a literal vortex of paradox.
And he's still there. Make logical assumptions of why you don't want to get in his way.
Yeah, but you're not as attuned to the whole paradox thing. Like, whenever you see Tarn, it makes your skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you don't have Prime as one of your spheres, right?
No, not yet.
And you're not studied the same way that most people are
No,
studied magic.
I've picked up mostly via osmosis and the tarot deck.
Yeah, so, and also, you've lived on this island your whole life. You've known this since you were aware. Honestly, you've known this since you saw the place.
Yeah.
It's just
off.
It's just off. Like, frankly, before you were magical, this place was off.
Yeah. And now that I have a vague understanding of what paradox is, and I understand that's what that sensation is, it's like, yeah, he's still around.
Yeah. You, on the other hand,
assumptions.
are very studied in how magic is supposed to work and how magic is not supposed to work, and this is how magic is not supposed to work.
I'm also curious as to why there isn't 3 or 4 various sects of mages here trying to contain it right now.
Yep. These are all questions that are running through your head. These are all valid questions.
This is making it hard to track down any other mages in this area.
Like I said, this is a great places for mages to just be on the down low and do whatever they want.
Yep. As you expect, this is a problem in a number of ways I literally cannot count.
And it's not a problem we have the power to fix.
Also, roll me intelligence politics, Akuma. Or just intelligence.
Yeah, just intelligence.
And with a -1 penalty.
Yeah. Difficulty?
7.
I have a success.
You don't... You try to keep up with what Yaren's doing. You don't think, as far as you know, that Yaren has ever interacted with Tarn. Which is unusual, because Yaren makes a point to interact with everybody who's very, very obviously a mage.
Yaren knows better.
Yeah, like, Yaren's interacted with the head of the Cutters. And there's no way that Yaren doesn't
know that Tarn is there.
That Tarn is there.
Is his name still just Tarn Bloodletter, or has he got a different last name?
You don't know his last name.
He's just Tarn. Okay.
He's just Tarn. He's Tarn.
The Clock Man.
He works at the Clockworks. So what are you doing, Galadir?
So still staring at this. Anything that we can, any texting to Akuma. Any leads on our hunter problem?
Working on it.
In that case, I will continue trying to find, because we are here. We're trying to find information on the Dark Horses, and there's not much I can do, like, directly with that. But I'm leaving the Clockworks behind. I'm going to go ingratiate myself with the local counterculture, and sort of do the thing that I do at rock concerts, but instead with people in the street and people in various dens of iniquity and drug use. The kinds of people that have ringtones like that, you know.
It wasn't me today.
Like the kinds of people who have ringtones on their flip phones?
Yeah, yes.
John Locke Cole says, "Hi Units, hi Sen, hi Pookie, hi Shadow Chorus, hi person with the name I definitely remember, hi Craig Bolton, hi Stan."
But yeah, so I'll go. The only sources of information that I can readily access in relation to this are drug addicts and people that are really into metal bands. So I'm going to work my way through those two categories of people.
So
there's a bit of overlap.
What you find around here is that there's a lot of Korean counterculture. People who are really into like hard Korean metal.
That works.
But they're not the big drug overdosers. Like, there's definitely drug use among them, but they're not the same people who are ODing on ice.
Okay.
They tend to be more the
Dark Horses weren't necessarily connected to that, were they? It was just sort of a thing that I kept hearing.
The Dark Horses are not... They're more interested in political influence than they are in making money, as far as you can tell.
Yeah. So I'm more interested in just gathering general information about gang activity. It doesn't have to be with people that are like dealing heavily with ice. It's just that is an in that I can use.
Yeah. Roll me. Well, I don't know. What ability do you think would apply here that you have?
Socialize.
Make an argument for it.
Either appearance and etiquette or manipulation and etiquette. Because like either I'm looking like a guy that you can trust,
Sure.
or I'm proving that I'm a guy you can trust.
Whichever of those two you want to use.
Sure, I'll look like a guy I can trust. I'll look like a guy you can trust.
You'll look the part.
Actually, streetwise, not etiquette. It would be streetwise.
Yeah, definitely streetwise.
Streetwise.
Street etiquette.
Etiquette is more among people who have an etiquette.
Yeah, etiquette is more formalized than what I'm trying to do.
I would argue that there is an etiquette among gangs, but sure, you can use streetwise.
There is one. It's
what
just very different than etiquette everywhere else.
What difficulty?
Standard 6.
Okay, so that's 2 successes.
All right. So you'll hobnob with the locals, and we'll get back to that. While you're hobnobbing,
Hobnobbing. Hobbin and
That's a
nobbin.
fun word.
Akuma,
Hobbly nobbly. Wait.
What's up?
what's your afternoon look like?
Scouting, actually. I need to figure out what the cutters are up to, what the power vacuum looks like now that, what's his face is...
Carl.
Now that Carl is up in smoke, literally. I need to see what the gang activity is going to look like, and I have people who can look into that, but getting a personal eye will probably give me a better insight of what I need to do next.
All right. So are you communicating with people, or are you more doing literal, like, walking around and getting a physical assertion?
Both. It's mostly walking into other people's territory, knowing that they know who I am, and seeing what happens and where power structure falls.
All right. Are you going to be walking into the Cutter's territory as well? Or,
Yes.
Okay. So the most dangerous territory as well.
Yes.
All right.
Because if, say, the Cutters are moving, then if the Cutters are moving into Carl's territory, then I'll start running into Cutter thugs who think they can deal with me a lot sooner than I normally would.
That's fair. How are you trying to appear?
Like me, I am a known quantity among the gangs. And
Are you trying to be an intimidating presence, or are you just trying to walk casually?
I am giving the intimidating presence of someone who is alone. So that sort of, this person is someone important, so even people who might not know the gang heads by appearance would recognize that this is someone important, but also someone who is seemingly without backup.
All right. Roll me appearance.
Subterfuge or intimidation.
Whichever angle you want to go more.
I'm gonna go with intimidation.
Intimidation? Okay.
Difficulty?
I'll go with 6, because it's going to be dependent on their willpower, their desire to carry through.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
6 successes.
I have 3 10s.
All right. That man is going to be dead very soon. With a 5 willpower, he rolled 7 successes.
Oh, this man is not scared enough.
This man does not know fear.
I like the idea that I'm like having a conversation with somebody who's lighting up a pipe right now, and then a body just flies through the building behind me.
I think we're about to hit some overlaps. So,
Oh boy.
Akuma, roll me alertness and
Perception?
perception.
Perception alertness.
Yeah.
Difficulty 6, I'm assuming?
Yes.
2.
All right. How subtle is this guy? This guy is high on dice. Okay.
Subtle enough to try and get something on me.
So you're walking when you feel a knife to your throat and a man up behind you, and like you smell heavy drugs on this man.
You smell heavy drugs.
Like
You sense it.
It smells
There
like
is
every
a
drug.
heavy smell of drugs.
there's a heavy smell of drugs.
There we
Have
go.
at you. I don't know drug terminology.
That's not drug terminology, that's English.
I don't know that either. How have I not proven this to you, John?
Ask his parents.
Anyway. So,
Oh, this is adorable.
this man just finds you like, what you doing? Cutter territory, friend.
Friend?
I don't know how
That's
to
a
be.
drunk, not a druggie.
I don't know how to drug.
Maybe he's drunk too. I don't know.
What you doing in Cutter's territory?
The guy's definitely not
That-
very smart.
He does that. He does
What you doing in
that.
Cutter's territory?
He's got a knife to your throat.
This part is being played by John tonight.
Yes. Basically, I'm gonna feed John lines and he's gonna be druggy. John's gonna be.
Hey, I was able to open the 20th edition PDF finally when
Good.
I had.
Took forever.
Just
Took forever.
this, and I'm going to quickly grab his wrist and body slam him over my
All
shoulder.
right, let's roll some initiatives against each other.
Oh boy.
See if you can get the jump on this man who is very
The
big.
initiative is dexterity and wits.
I believe it's dexterity perception.
Initiative is dexterity wits. Is dexterity wits.
Plus a d10.
Sorry, it's a D10 plus the total number of dots in your dexterity and wits.
Yeah. Okay, they want me to go first. I have a 14.
Well, I mean, given that he has 1 dot in his wits,
So you rolled a 7 plus 7.
I rolled a 10 plus
Or
4.
10 plus 4? Okay, there you
given that he has 1 dot in wits, it's surprising that he tied you.
I have higher wits and dexterity, probably. So,
What's your dex?
both are 2.
Which one counts first for tiebreakers?
go. Dexterity, then wits.
Okay, you're getting shanked.
You can try.
He's going
Well,
first.
his knife is already on your throat,
That's what magic is for.
so he doesn't need to roll to hit.
Yep.
So he's about to slit your
So it'll
throat.
be strength plus 1 damage for a knife. So whatever his strength is plus 1.
Yep.
Roll 6s are.
Yeah, and damage is always.
This is the beautiful thing about dough, is...
Do these explode?
No. Yeah, no, damage dice.
damage,
don't explode.
damage dice don't explode.
Okay. 3.
That's gonna be fun.
So you can soak with armor
Stamina and dough.
or stamina. Yeah.
Because iron shirt.
Your armor's not going to count because the
I-
knife is literally
I know.
on your throat.
I mean, it doesn't matter. My dough does, though, because of iron shirt. That's one of the dough techniques.
Oh, okay. Cool. Dough it up.
One of the basic things that dough can do is let you soak lethal damage,
There you go.
Sweet.
as long as it's not from bullets. 6, you said?
Yeah.
That's 4 successes.
No, it was only 3, so yes.
Is
Yeah.
it DC 6, yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
so, yeah, 4 successes.
Soaking is always soaked.
So he runs his knife, and like that thing in the movies where just the single drip of blood falls down from a knife slitting happens, and then you do your thing.
So I just kind of grab the wrist.
Remember that scene in The Matrix 2 where the guy hits Neo's hand with the battle axe,
And it just
and
breaks.
it's just like,
Yeah. So I just kind of grab the wrist, and then with the other arm, just flip him over onto his back in front of me.
roll me your martial arts or dough or whatever you're hitting him with.
Curse these flies.
Sounds a little fruit fly.
I'm still amazed Austin just made a movie reference.
Yeah,
I have
it was
seen
from
some
about
movies.
15 years ago.
I mean, it's from the 90s, yeah.
I mean,
More than that, like, because
Oh,
it was
yeah.
99 was the Matrix.
What's the-
I
so
think.
20 something, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little over 20, not 20, but like, it's almost 20 years.
I would say it's probably a Dragon
Yeah.
Tail
It's
script,
19
so...
years, yeah. Austin referenced an almost 20-year-old movie.
That's still amazing for Austin. I love you.
So that'll be 4 successes.
And what's he opposing with?
That would be any attempt to dodge he would have, so his dexterity.
Okay. We'll add his measly points of melee. How many six did you get?
4.
The heck? Apparently this dude is just,
Resistant.
yeah, no, you
Resilient.
go to do it and he, like,
Side
you hear a snap and you think something in his wrist snapped, but your hand slipped over him and he's too high to care that something just snapped in his wrist. So, he knows no fear. He's gonna shank you.
You're gonna try, because now I'm in defending position.
Yeah, now you can roll to oppose this.
Now he has to roll a hit. So.
Yeah.
Tuh. okay.
Did you fail?
No. I had very much the opposite.
That would be funny if you had.
So he goes to stab you, and this man is so high that, like, he's still got his arm forward, and he just plunges his knife into his forearm, going right through it, and he just starts gushing blood. And he just kind of stares at his arm. He just starts, like, twitching, and he collapses to the ground. Like, he's losing a ridiculous amount of blood right now.
Kill yourself! Oh, well thanks.
He rolled 3 1s and a 4.
Yeah.
Nice.
Try to watch.
You know, I think you need to have a nice long sleep. And it might not be one you wake up from. I just stamp on his throat.
It's better this way.
Yeah, I guess it saves me a hospital bed.
Look on the bright side.
So, where was that territory-wise? How far was that into Carl's territory as opposed to typical Cutter territory?
It was right on the border of the two. Like, the alley he was in would technically still be Cutter territory, but for him to come out of the alley, he would have had to cross over into Carl's.
Which means they're starting to move.
Yeah.
At the very least. If their most lax people are already moving in.
Yeah. You actually roll me streetwise intelligence.
Okay. 2 successes.
I guess finally the random mook with 3 decks and 1 melee stopped out rolling the No Master.
Yeah.
3 successes?
Yep.
Your best guess, based on the state of this guy, is that he's stationed as some sort of, like, rear guard that they don't care about because they've already moved on. It also indicates that a level of confidence of, we don't care. You're not coming back at us because you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
They know what happened.
Yeah, so they're assuming that his territory is empty and they're just trying to move in now.
Yeah. And they have to leave someone there. So they'll let this mook with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Cutter symbol on a leather band on his arm. What do you do with the body?
Well, first off, I'm going to take that Cutter symbol. Because that could be useful later.
Okay.
What good dumping grounds do I know are nearby?
The alley.
There's a dumpster in the alley.
I'm assuming the people who pick that dumpster up really don't check.
I mean, even if they do.
If it,
dumpster
even if
in
it
an
gets
alley.
picked up.
It's a dumpster on the border of 2 gangs' territory.
Yeah. So yeah, I was.
If they check,
He might have company.
yeah, there might already be people in there for all you know.
Yeah, I'll just sort of like hoist him by his shirt and toss him in the dumpster.
All right, you took out the trash. Congratulations. You will carry on with what you're doing. So you're hobnobbing, you're intimidating. Let's go to the man who's still who's at work. So you get the man to the cardiac ward, and you've convinced them that you're now his doctor.
Cool.
What you gonna do with the man? There's no one else here.
Cool. So it was right after a heart attack, essentially?
Yes, he had a heart attack, and you tried to revive him, and he refused.
Cool.
But I believe not successfully. Cause
Not successfully.
Yeah.
You refuse to use them.
I'm going to go ahead and
You
put
don't
him,
get to say no. I say no.
put him on an IV drip. They
I'm
use
the
like
one who
blood
knocks.
thinners after heart attacks, I think.
Yeah.
So I'll put him on an IV drip of that, channeling life magic through that.
Way to be in character. It's like I think he's a blood thinner, right? Right? Yeah, that sounds right.
That's why he's in the
Roll me your
hospital.
medicine intelligence.
And I'm also going to be channeling life magic through that, just to make sure that everything stays okay with this.
Yes.
Threshold 6.
I will heal you with my
Yeah,
okay.
moderately educated pseudo-medicine.
I think it's my vague understanding.
3
of how this
successes.
Okay. Yeah.
Fake
no.
it till you make it.
Honestly, this is sort of
That's the
something
philosophy
where
of magic.
heart attacks happen, and they're pretty... You're not a cardiologist, but it's pretty basic procedure to know how to deal with a heart attack in a hospital ward.
Mm-hmm.
You get him set up. You want to roll me some life, Arete, to
Yep.
enhance the properties of this.
Arte life diff 5. Assuming you're using an instrument.
The IV is his
Yes.
instrument.
Yeah.
IVs are one of his
4.
instruments. Bags of mysterious medical liquid.
6 successes.
Yeah, this man's not dying if he wanted to. The battery's dying, but it'll be a little longer. This man can't die if he wants to, at this point. Alright.
I mean, he could, but that would involve like pulling out the IV,
Physical.
blowing an air bubble into
You're
it.
taking the
and
IV,
seeing
sticking it in his head.
Yeah.
So now that I've got a little bit more time, I'm going to see if I can tell a little bit more about what's going on with him, like as far as what caused this medically, or if there was some sort of magical influence here, what that might have been.
Alright, roll me medicine perception to do a full medical exam on this guy. And you have all the tools in the world to do it, so it's only going to be a diff 5.
Gotcha. Three, 4, 4 successes.
4 successes. Alright, so you're going through... There's literally no reason this man should have had a heart attack. Roll me medicine awareness.
Medicine awareness?
Medicine awareness. No, that's the best skill. Sorry, awareness and perception.
Awareness, perception, cool. Threshold?
You're not paying attention to this directly, so we're going 7.
Eesh. Only 1 success then.
Okay. There's something off on a supernatural level. You don't know what, but there's something
So it said
off.
that he kind of resisted my attempts to
Yes.
have him not be dead. I'm going to see what I can do about mind. Sort of see what his general mental state is.
Alright, roll me... how many spirit dots do you have in mind?
2.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, this is pretty easy, so
Does
roll me...
anyone have dots in spirit?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
Go ahead and roll me mind,
Spirit,
Eric.
the most underrepresented sphere.
Apparently.
But one of the most useful. It's really useful to talk to ghosts.
Yeah.
And also to manipulate people's spirit.
Ooh. 1, 2,
Don't worry, there's plenty of NPCs who have mind.
3 successes.
Just be on the good sides. Alright. As you start to probe, you're not the only person in here. Do you keep probing, or do you immediately pull back?
First instinct, don't pry any further.
Okay, you drop the spell. You didn't actually push anything. You started to go in and you saw another presence mentally, and you were able to stop yourself. So you don't know anymore. You don't know anything about the inner workings of this mind or what the control is on him, but you know that there is a mind effect on him.
Someone is in his mind.
I'm going to try to figure out if we've got any background on who this person is. And more specifically, where exactly this person could have gotten on the wrong side of an incredibly potent mind mage.
You don't have to be incredibly potent mind mage to be able to manipulate people's minds. You can do it.
Yes, but he couldn't manipulate someone's mind into have a heart attack.
Yeah. So,
There's levels.
yeah. So, like,
That's
I'm going to
true.
talk with...
Actually, he could because he has life.
Well, he could cause a heart attack, but he wouldn't be able to make someone cause their own heart attack. So, Honestly, you have his IDs in his pocket, but you're a hospital, not a... Like, there's no...
Hospitals have access to run background checks.
You can run a medical background check.
Yeah.
You'd have to get the police involved to get a
So
proper
this is
background
like
check.
a Saipan hospital.
It's fair. It's fair.
I mean, if you run a medical background on the guy...
Yeah, I'll run out. I also want to know where this happened as well. Like, who picked him up and where.
Alright. Well, your base medical background shows he's... what you'd expect. He's never had any major medical issues. He's come in for back pain a couple times. He's in his mid-40s.
They picked him up at a hospital in California. They picked him up at a restaurant in California.
Shockingly medically unremarkable. You know, it's...
What's that from?
His background.
Oh, okay.
His intro.
So, there's nothing remarkable about this guy. In
Gee,
that
he's been
regard.
having this heart attack for a long time.
He just goes around having the same heart attack over and over again.
Who are you gonna ask?
That sounds horrible.
It just
About
sounded
like where they
a line
found
from a
him.
movie.
Yeah.
It sounded like a line from a movie. I don't know.
By the way, he's out for a little bit.
Okay. Probably one of the nurses that was bringing him in, I guess. Or were those nurses or were they EMTs?
Those were just EMTs. Power cord's not down here at all.
Alright.
I'll try and ask them about it then. Basically asking, did you happen to find him anywhere strange? Because a lot of his medical background doesn't really explain it. So I was wondering if
Also,
you found him
how
anywhere
do you do that?
particular.
How do you do that's probably a good idea to get to.
I don't know that there's a physical copy of that, but that I can get on my iPad.
We had a call. He was at the Joe 10 warehouse. He's the manager over there. Down by the airport, they receive a lot of the goods that go out to the different Joe 10 distributors. I mean, they don't have air conditioning there. It was pretty hot. High stress job. He works a lot of hours.
But other than that, nothing peculiar?
No?
No.
I mean, it's a classic story, isn't it? Some poor sub works himself 60, 80 hours a week trying to enhance his career and ends up having a heart attack in his 40s like this.
Well, hopefully this is enough of a wake-up call for him. Glad he woke up at all.
I've seen too many people like that, though. They always figure, oh, well, life is short. I gotta try even harder to get my goals. What you gonna do? We're here to take care of people, but we can't stop them from hurting themselves.
Only deal with the aftermath.
Pretty much.
It does have a hardcover. It does have a hardcover.
Yeah. Making it hard not working myself to death here. Alright. Well, if that's all you got on him, then...
Best we can do. He's stable?
Looks like it.
Alright. Do we... may want to see about getting him a room.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
$15 in the hard copy.
get to working on his long-term accommodations, just making sure there isn't anything else that I'll be surprised about with him.
Sounds good.
Alright. I'll go ahead and work
Try for
on
RPG, apparently. His brother
getting
yeah,
him
anyway.
moved to whatever the more long-term things would be for
Yeah,
just-
you get him set up in a standard room. Any specialty things you request for them and precautions, or you just get him sent to a room?
Obviously, I want people to keep me posted on what's going on with him, but nothing too special.
They hook him up to a monitoring unit to check to see whenever, like, he's all stable, so they just have a nurse check him to see when he wakes up.
I'm going to go ahead and I guess the two people I'd want to just contact our good police friend and our good magical expert friend here. and basically say, ran into a case that there was a healthy guy, heart attack out of the blue, and someone was trying to interfere with his mind. It felt like he was resisting my attempts to save him.
Intelligence occult?
Sure, you can.
Or intelligence esoterica?
You can roll that. Go ahead. D6.
Does my research specialization fall into this?
No.
One success.
That sure is a thing people can do with mind magic.
Yep.
There's
It doesn't tell me anything special.
no, I mean, this sort of thing, everything from voodoo magic to, like, Cthulhuan horrors.
Do I know which sect would more likely be doing that? Which tradition would more likely be involved in that? I know it's not Hermes, because Hermes doesn't really use his mind.
No, Akashic Brotherhood could is their mind over matter. So someone like that could very easily do a thing of that nature. I always forget the name of the entropy order.
The Euthanatos?
Yeah, Euthanatos just increases natural state of entropy. It's not the normal way they could do it, but it's certainly a thing they might do. There's it would definitely be a thing that somebody deranged would do. Somebody who's following demons or stuff like that. If they don't have a sect. It's certainly not within the technocracy's wheelhouse.
No. Like, I can think of a number, like, it's not Verbena, it wouldn't be, like, there's a variety.
No, Verbena wouldn't do it with the mind. They would just take
the life.
They would
just give you a heart attack. Or
they just cause you to have a heart attack. You
Yeah.
don't have to take over your mind and do it.
I'll text back, where was he at?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say to both of you. He was the manager of the Joatan warehouse by the airport. Look into that. Maybe they were cleaning up loose ends.
And I'll also send, I will copy the information about the heart attack over to Akuma and say, does this sound like something your people might do? As I'm heading over to that warehouse after whatever information I get from people.
So you're cut a bit short, but the information you get, you were looking for just gang activity in general.
Any interesting or surprising gang activity, and any information about the Dark Horses.
The Dark Horse, people love to use the word. People love to blame stuff on them. It's sort of the cool enigma. But it's not anything that...
This is the core book.
It's not anything that anybody has hard information on. It's just, oh yeah, no, I heard...
Yeah.
It's like they intentionally have an absurd number of rumors about them that all contradict each other.
Yeah.
So, that's... They have a good presence in... Instead of trying to keep no information about them, they overflow random rumor mill stuff.
Okay, so it's... Yeah.
Gang activity, the big talk is that Carl's gang just burnt up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gone. There's a power struggle, and everyone's talking about the Cutters, and old Raz is going to move in on Carl's turf and take it over.
Old Raz associated with Cutters?
He's the leader of the Cutters.
Okay.
Old Raz, or Rasputin, sometimes he calls himself, but it's been shortened to Old Raz.
Do I get the information about Rasputin?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the older guys calls him Rasputin, but anybody under the age of 40 is calling him Old Raz.
In the world of darkness, if you're called Rasputin, you are a mage. You're either a mage or a vampire.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's like, someone's calling themselves Rasputin. Aha.
Yeah. It's not hard to pick up that this guy has a flair for the dramatic, and He's either a mage or just really wants to be. Apparently he dresses absurdly.
Yeah.
He has a pointy hat.
He has that flaw, that the traditionalist flaw.
Like the vampire flaw, the true believer flaw, where you like are actually subject to the vampire.
Yeah, like the vampire flaw is you have to wear like the classic Dracula outfit,
And you
Yeah.
and you are suspect to crosses and flowing water. He's
Yes.
got that, but from ages.
Yes, he does. Like, people just, as much as people hate the Cutters, you get the feeling that he's a very popular figure just because
he's insane.
he's insane and amusing. And, you know, if things are going to be bad, they can at least be hilariously bad.
So in addition to the information about the heart attack, I also send, what do you know about a man calling himself Rasputin?
There's not enough time there's not enough characters in the text message limit to tell you what I know about Rasputin.
I'm heading to investigate this warehouse. You want to meet up?
Sure, I'll bring my lieutenant with me and see if, in case there's anything interesting.
All right.
So I'll go back and retrieve Night Venom, and we're gonna go for a walk.
You two are going to converge on the warehouse. By the time you get there, it'll probably be just closed.
That's fine.
Which
Closed is better than...
Closed is probably much better than open.
Anyway.
Alright, so let's fix up our other loose ends. Did you send that text to everybody or just the two of them?
Just those.
It was the two of them.
Okay, so you get this text about the manager of Joatan's, who you know from record is named Jeffrey Massengun.
Oh, and I would also send you back saying that I'm going to head that way if you want to meet me at the warehouse.
I'd rather be around for him if he wakes up.
Yes, sir.
So Jeffrey Massengun is his name, you know from record. He's the manager of the Joatan's warehouse and distribution center.
Alright. So he suffered a particular ailment and there were no signs that he should have, you say? Sounds familiar.
Heart attack out of the blue.
Sounds somewhat familiar. And you said he's doing well now then?
After attempting to resist treatment through what I can only assume was mental manipulation, yeah. I had to force him to stay alive.
You're not dying on me today, damn it.
You mentioned. Oh yeah, well I would have looked it up so I know. Where's the store that he worked at? You said
He works at the distribution center.
the distribution.
It's not any of the stores. It's near the airport because between the airport and the dock area, they get most of their freight in. There's a lot of import.
I'll also mention how one of the EMTs seemed to at least be familiar with the guy and that he was often working insane hours. Don't know how much of that is true, but if he had a quote-unquote second job, then that would certainly cause that sort of thing.
And that's all I have on my end, that he's just a manager.
Yes.
Nothing.
He had a DUI from when he was like 22. But he was born here. He's Camaro, and he's in the records because he had a DUI when he was 22, and that's literally it.
He hasn't done anything, so I can't really do much to question him. He hasn't caused any trouble, has he?
Well, he hasn't woken up yet, so...
hasn't caused any trouble except for the whole trying to die on me.
He hasn't caused any legal trouble.
Yeah. I suggest you keep an eye on him.
Yeah. If he even gives me just the faintest excuse of pulling someone in to investigate anything he's done, trust me, I will do so. But right now, we just need to see how he reacts when he wakes up.
Very well. And I shall see you later.
Anything else you were doing? Were you going to go meet up with them, or did you have other plans after you were finished?
With it?
With the two of them over at the warehouse, or were you
Did I get that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't notify you, but if you were going over there, you would.
Oh, sorry.
If you were going to physically investigate, I wasn't going to message him because we were going to be breaking into a warehouse.
Oh. Sorry, I thought you'd mentioned it. Yeah, never mind. You don't get a message.
But I did get the.
But you do have the
I do have the information. So if
you go over there, we'll meet
which
up.
I will.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, hey, I need to investigate a break-in.
All right, Father.
Yes.
So it takes you a while. You don't know a lot about Elizabeth personally, but you're able to figure out from the street names that were clearly made up the general area of town, and you have one big advantage. Elizabeth is hard to miss. She's 6'2" and and about 200 pounds, and you're concerned that she doesn't eat enough at home, but she has a lot of muscle mass on her.
Yeah.
And because she doesn't eat a lot, it's very, very defined muscle mass.
Okay.
So you're able to track down, just because you're able to find the district where she would live in by guessing, and you're able to ask enough people around, and eventually you end up at a grocery store. It's a small local grocer, and it's next to a liquor store and a pawn shop, where if you ever wanted to get anything on the down low, this is the pawn shop you would have gone to. It's
Oh, hey, I know that.
Convenient.
You go in, the grocer it's not in great shape, but there's a few people there, and you see Elizabeth in there through the window.
Okay, I just kind of.
She seems to be talking to a guy.
Staying kind of out of the way, or just kind of nonchalantly going behind her, just to see if she realizes she's being followed. I'm just gonna try to listen in.
Roll me.
Stuff and everything else.
What's the stealth?
Dexterity stealth.
Dexterity stealth. Oh yeah, well there you go.
Stealth.
Roll me dexterity stealth.
Have you picked your specialization for your dexterity?
It was
You wanted to go with accuracy, right?
accuracy. Yeah,
Put it right
was
there.
accuracy. Yeah,
Put it on the line. Just so you can remember. Same thing for your other 4-dot stuff.
yeah. Oh, the other one was it'd be part of intimidation, though.
No,
Manipulation?
perception.
No, manipulation.
Oh, manipulation. Oh, you. Okay, you're very
I got
min-max
four. I got
stats.
4. Yeah, I've got 4 in manipulation, so I was gonna max on that.
Okay.
Oh, you.
More for intimidation. So would that be the? I mean,
Manipulation is things like
It's-
talking. You know, like
yeah,
manipulation.
like-
Manipulation is
Threat.
your ability to make other people do what you want.
So you could do
Right,
like
through-
manipulation threats.
threat. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that would go with
Manipulation
intimidation.
threats.
Yeah, okay, that's more.
that'll go with intimidations, and then perception is your senses. So eyes, ears, nose.
I was gonna go with eyes. You
So
know,
see,
okay, sight.
perception, eagle-eyed would be the
Or sight or what? Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So if you're rolling,
Got it.
so accuracy, I don't think applies
that
for
was
stealth.
Yeah.
That was just stealth. Stealth. Right. Okay.
So dexterity stealth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can tiptoe.
You can tiptoe through the tulips with
Yes.
the best of them.
Did you go through the playtest material for Pathfinder yet?
A little bit, not a lot.
It's very complicated.
5, 6.
In her line of work, she should be able to
We're making
figure
it less
out what I'm there.
complicated. It's like you did. It's still really complicated.
Oh yeah,
It's
She
somewhere
knows.
between 5 and 8.
like you haven't even
Okay,
entered the
6.
building, and she looks through the window and sees you, and like stops and looks at you for a second.
I'm just gonna go in and just nonchalantly, just kind of walk in that direction without looking at her much, and see if she's still talking to the guy.
All right, she says a couple more quick things to the guy, and then gives him a quick hug, and he walks back. He goes back to work. He's a warehouse employee, so he goes back to restocking some shelves, and she goes over and grabs a bunch of bags and picks them up and starts walking out.
Okay. I'm just gonna go up to her and she's picking up her bags and just say, "Hey,
Hey, Duncan.
how's life?"
So,
Congratulations, now you look like a stalker.
Don't you live in the Capital District?
Oh, yeah. I was taking a walk. I heard you weren't feeling well, so I just thought, I was just in the neighborhood.
Don't you have better things to do for Royal Caribbean? Not Royal Caribbean, Royal Pacific.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a walk. Just making sure you're all right. And I'm just gonna walk by if she's not gonna ask, if she's not gonna talk to me. I'll just go like I'm picking up a, thing of Worcestershire sauce or something.
Maybe Tabasco. Saipan is the #1 importer of Tabasco in the world.
Yes, well, I'm looking for Worcestershire sauce.
They don't have it.
Okay, I don't care. I don't
Tabasco-
want it anyway. It was a flippant excuse.
Tabasco and Worcestershire are serve two different purposes, Austin.
Yes, totally different.
Yes, they do.
They do.
I'm not saying I'm not saying they're the same. We
I
don't
know,
have
but that's
Worcestershire
why-
here.
I mean, hey,
You-
Are they like A1 or something?
No.
no, they don't
They
have.
don't have steak sauce?
They don't have a lot of
There wasn't a lot of beef-related stuff anyway.
They have a lot of spam.
There you go.
This place literally has a lot more local cuisine type
Yeah.
stuff, like very
Yeah.
localized stuff. It's not a large shop.
so basically what you're saying is,
you want
since you're a
Worcestershire, you
maid,
have to go to the shop and
and you
get
have
it.
dots
It's
in
just
matter, just pick up a bottle of Tabasco sauce and, hey, it's Worcestershire sauce.
It's just one of those things, it's like, I'm looking for Worcestershire sauce. You can find Tabasco sauce. Those are not the same thing. I don't know why you would relate them.
I know, well, no, it's just
They have a bunch of like local type sauces.
I don't really care. I'm not looking. I'm just I
Yeah.
just make sure, and is she walking away? She go to a car or is she?
No, she's just walking.
She's walking.
She does not have a car.
Direction. I just got a general direction of which way she's going.
She's going northeast.
Got
Also, I like how you say, "Oh, now you seem like you're stalking." He has actively been stalking.
it. I've been stalking her all
No, now
the
you're
last 4
now you're
hours.
just
You're
looking
gonna
like
get
you're
arrested
stalking
for
her.
stalking.
Like that's what he's doing right now. Is
I
stalking.
mean, I wouldn't be anywhere near the place if it wasn't for her.
I mean, yes, but now you're making it obvious.
I mean, I could ask her out for a movie or something, but
She's way younger than you.
it doesn't matter.
She's 17.
So I'm 30. It's not like I'm 60 or something.
You're almost twice her age, but you're not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite. Yeah.
I think 30
Hey,
years old.
it's a guy thing.
6!
I'm 6.
I have a
Doesn't
30-year-old
make it
best
good.
friend.
All right, so what do you do?
I just let her go at this point, and
So creepy.
but I'm gonna go look down the street and see if she disappears.
You don't see her anymore.
Yeah, there you see. Told you she disappeared.
Congratulations, you were correct. She disappeared.
Arguing with the narrator.
Arguing with the universe.
Okay.
She's definitely fine, though. By the way, she's not sick.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
I just didn't get.
You've seen her when she's sick. She still goes to work.
Okay, fine.
She doesn't get sick often.
something weird.
Oh, I didn't have a way of checking.
What?
She's being manipulated by the mind. But anyway, that's
mind sphere.
I don't have
You also don't have
no.
that information.
I don't have it. No, not yet.
Well, you know that there's an.
But I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out weird stuff that's happening. So anyway, I'm just gonna head back to. Actually, I'm gonna call the hospital, or I'm gonna call you up and see if.
We exchange numbers. So
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I'm just gonna call
Call
Dr. D, and see if see what's going on at his side of the planet.
Dr. DT.
Your phone rings.
I
This
pick
is
it up.
this is the kind of hospital where they don't care if your phone rings.
Dave Tarasu, MD.
They really don't care.
It's the hospital where you leave your phone in the patient.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you might see my Rolex.
That happened to one guy once, and suddenly it's all over the news.
It happened to a guy and it happened to a girl during a C-section.
Was it a phone or a watch?
It was a phone.
A phone is
times.
stupid. Yeah.
That's like impressively
Yeah, a
stupid.
long time
Like
ago,
I
it was just a
understand the watch,
Yeah.
like the watch is on your wrist, like your hands are in it.
No,
What are you
that's
doing with
still-
your phone inside the patient? I'm gonna take a picture real quick. Hang on.
Hold on, I can't.
Selfie.
Oh, this would be great for
I'm
my
gonna get
Instagram.
I'm gonna have placenta selfie right here.
All right, so you get a phone call.
I,
We'll say you're not busy this second.
yeah.
You're in the middle of texting.
I'll look,
Yeah.
Middle of
I
section.
want to look through Instagram and see how many
So is
placenta
anything
selfies
happening on
there
your
are.
side of the planet?
Not much. Just a random heart attack out of the blue with a guy who seemed to mentally resist treatment.
I see. Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah, somebody got on the wrong side of someone powerful, it seems.
Okay.
Oh, just crazy.
Currently, we've got the our detective and our resident magic expert trying to figure out exactly what's going on here.
So who is this guy? He works for a mob or something, or
Manager at a distribution center.
how far am I from?
I'll tell him what it
that
is
place?
specifically.
Like in my corner of town at this point.
You're an hour's walk.
Okay.
45 minutes. You're about a 45-minute walk.
So yeah, I'll tell him exactly what
Is
it
there a
is.
rickshaw available?
No.
I'm just wondering.
They don't have rickshaws in Saipan.
You know, they still had rickshaws on the official census in America up until like 1980s. As you know, for working anyway.
vehicles.
Yeah. I mean, for a number of rickshaw
I mean,
drivers.
to be fair,
because
there
there
are a lot
still
of
were-
Chinese immigrants here, and they do still do rickshaws in
Yeah.
China.
Yeah.
However,
I just wanted to let you know that.
yes, no, there are no rickshaws.
I might head that direction. You know, just to, I don't know.
All
I
right,
got no
so
place else to go. at
we're
this
all
point.
going to simultaneously break into this warehouse, and I love it. All right,
Except me, as usual.
and with that, why don't we get to the person who's not currently breaking into a warehouse? So,
It's completely unaware that there is a warehouse to be broken into.
Before that, I want to make sure to leave him a message to saying, make sure you do not leave any sharp items near him.
Oh yeah, he might. Do that.
you did not give the nurses any sort of potential suicide warnings.
Yeah, you should do that.
That's what I meant when I say keep an eye on him, and I'm clarifying now.
Don't leave anything sharp or potentially strangulatory
Yes.
nearby.
That is
Yeah.
something that you can do.
Yeah, tell the nurses to keep stuff away from him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Take his shoelaces away and all that.
I'll.
But
Yeah.
once you decide, like this patient, I have indications from medical files saying that this patient may have suicidal tendencies. Please bear that in
Yeah.
mind when taking
I'll go ahead and do that with whatever removing dangerous things or possibly restraining it is normally
That's
done.
a very easy thing you can do without having to prove it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're really overly cautious of that sort of thing because
Gotcha.
it's a thing.
I will.
Yeah, they take the blinds down in his room and they do the whole shebang.
Nope.
I got moved into a hospital room once after a suicidal patient. Like they take everything out. There is nothing in this room this man could hurt himself with anymore.
Except for
Cool.
the room itself.
And the window. The window.
The window you can't.
Okay.
They put an adhesive thing on it with covering, so that number one, it blocks the light out, so they don't have to worry about having no blinds, and number two, they can't break through it and jump to their death.
Shucks. I know that in a mental hospital in New York, it was easy enough to pick up a dresser and throw it through a window.
Did this happen when you were living there?
It was my friend's roommate. Anyway, go ahead.
And that's why they take the dresser out.
So now they take the dressers out.
No heavy objects you can throw through the window, thankfully.
All right.
Back to
So Torel,
Yes.
you have spent the day with Tarn. He showed you the in and outs, and
And the insides and outsides.
And how interchangeable the two can be.
Probably, yes.
Probably.
You can leave your phone in there.
How much of a morbid curiosity does Torel
My
have?
phone was in my hand. Now it's in my spleen. Why is my spleen in my hand?
That is 100% something Tarn would do.
That's actual. That
It doesn't look as green as movies make it look.
would be correspondence.
When you say morbid
5 dots of
curiosity, like what
correspondence, 5 dots of
context?
life, 5
Like-
dots of matter.
How fast, learning about magic and death and draining life forces and that sort of a thing.
No, she's very
Through,
interested.
ritual sacrifice or...
No, she's interested in any way that you can do it.
Awesome. That's what you're learning.
What, Dave?
You know, there are better mentors in the world.
She doesn't know
I don't
that
know.
yet.
You're aware of who Tarn is, by the way.
That's okay.
No, we're not.
You are.
Like
You were there when he sacrificed his mom.
Who was
You were
evil?
also trying to
Who
kill
we were
his
going
mom.
to kill.
Yeah, we were going to kill her anyway.
Yes,
We
but
do
still.
not
Hey,
know.
he actually
This
has
is
not
a
done.
source of information.
He
that she
actually
can
has
tap.
not done anything particularly onerous.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
It's a good source of material. Let's go with it.
there's a lot of information about this. He also starts delving into how you perform magic, and you find he's working with you on your style, and you find that your favorite method of performing magic is through dance. And
Okay.
you're a dancer, right?
Yes.
And so one of your tools, because you said that you wanted to go ahead and let
Oh, right.
Tarn instruct you on your tools. So dance is going to be one of your magical tools.
Okay.
Especially since you have a lot of a lot of more primal native dances that tie in well with the whole feel that he gives off on the magic, the very primal.
The dance around the fire style kind of.
Yeah.
So what we're getting is
boy.
ritual magic caster.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of dances. He shows you how to incorporate. You said the fire dance was one of her favorites.
Yes.
He definitely starts teaching you how to incorporate the fire ropes into your dance and into your
This is
magic.
going to be very complicated to use, at a moment's notice on a street corner.
Well, you see, that's what she has the mirror shard for, because he also teaches you how to stick it into something and suck life out of it.
Okay.
This is why your focus has multiple tools.
I know, it's fair.
Yes.
It's just
He also shows you a cute trick you can do with Prime, whenever you have quintessence, and he teaches you how to properly use his node, which is... I mean, you don't know what a node is normally, so you don't think anything's weird about it. So,
That's not stepping in foot in that place.
he probably was. But he shows you how to turn quintessence
Hey, remember when we were
into...
at Tarn's place? Nope.
He shows you how to turn
He's a
quintessence
great mentor.
into
That place will
raw
turn you inside
energy.
out by itself.
He shows you how to use Prime to convert quintessence into a magical green fire. Or, blades of energy that will cut through anything. You have to have quintessence to do this, though.
Okay.
But it is a thing you can do with...
And it also turns your quintessence straight into paradox.
Depends on how you use
Think.
it, but yes.
When you generate a lightsaber with magic,
That's definitely
That's paradox.
That's definitely gonna be some paradox.
Unless you've got like a really good prop. Like,
Yeah.
I have an SFX lightsaber. It's a real lightsaber.
Like, you have to have a really good prop and be among enough nerds that are just high enough to believe it.
Yeah.
Vulgar magic.
Yes. So
Trying to make your vulgar magic coincidental is one of the most fun things about being a mage.
It's true.
well, one of the advantages though is a lot of
That's why I'm trying to get to the point where I can summon thunderstorms.
and anywhere where there's a strong tradition of, primitive tribal elements.
Yeah, anywhere where there's a lot of superstition and spiritualism, magic is easier to do.
Guess what Saipan has?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is spirit magic in Savannah is really easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How big is the martial arts movie culture, considering there's a lot of
Very.
Asian... Yeah, okay.
You
So
can get away with a lot of nonsense with dough. You can just straight wire foo people and they won't question it.
Funnily enough, like, even though
I'm just better than Bruce Lee. Come on.
even though my paradigm is like trash magic, or one of my practices is trash magic, my more vulgar stuff is really hard to make look not vulgar. Here.
So, anyway, you're taught that, and then at some point, Tarn looks at his wristwatch. Oh, I believe Kai will be getting home soon. You should probably go and greet him. Do you drive him home, or do you let him? Because you said you normally
I
run.
let him ride, yeah. I let him ride
You
the
ride the bus
bus. Or walk.
This is why she's not investigating the warehouse, because she's a kid taker.
So
And he'll be
Turns out some of us have lives.
he waves his hand and the door opens for you to
this is
leave.
part of my everyday life.
That's kind of a problem.
You go back to your office.
Yeah.
When you walk in, there's a note on your desk.
Not all of us are fortunate enough to be
On
raised
my
in
desk,
college.
like not my door.
Yeah, on your desk.
Okay, what's the note say?
If you want to see your kid again,
Go to this warehouse.
Wow, what a coincidence!
no, if you want to go to see your kid again, meet me at this address. It's an address just south of the airport.
It's a warehouse.
It's a medical warehouse.
It's not a warehouse.
It's a different warehouse. No, the warehouse is nearby.
You gonna call people?
The warehouse is probably a quarter mile away.
Okay.
I can run that in a few minutes.
She's gonna send
I
it.
have a motorcycle.
She's
I can run that in a few minutes.
You could probably keep pace with this motorcycle. What are you gonna do, Holly?
gonna get a sentence out of my mouth. She's going to send a text to Akuma that says, "I need help."
You're on your way to the warehouse and you get a text that says that she needs help. What do you do?
I open up the phone and I call.
All right, she'll answer.
What do you need?
Kai was taken.
Oh, someone needs to die is what you're saying.
There was a note left on my desk of my locked studio.
The door still locked or anything broken?
Is the door still? Was it still locked when she got there?
The door to your studio? Yes. Your office door? No.
Okay. No, the office door was unlocked.
Break in or did they pick the lock?
Can she tell?
Nothing was broken, so you're guessing they picked the lock.
Nothing was broken.
They went to a lot of care to not disturb anything.
Nothing was broken. Nothing seems to be taken.
Well,
There's an address and says that if I want to see him alive, I have to meet at that address.
at the very least, it's not the Cutters because you'd know.
This does not sound like any gang that you know.
It's
Yeah.
the hunter.
What's the address?
She'll tell him.
Oh, that's actually only about a quarter mile away from where I'm about to be headed. Meet me at this address, and I'll give her the address of the warehouse. Once we finish up here, I'll go there personally with you.
I'm sorry, I can't wait. I have to go there now.
All right, I'll meet you there.
Okay.
Alright, you gonna get in your minivan and drive over there?
Sure.
How many is it?
I need a cooler car.
It's a soccer mom car.
Okay.
It's like a beat up one.
It's reliable. You've had Gilda work on it before. Thing runs like magic. Wait a second.
Open up the hood, there's no engine.
There's just a hamster and a wheel.
It's just not even. No, there's just a wheel, no hamster.
The wheel's just spinning by itself.
No, there's just a hamster, no wheel.
No, that's in the back.
The wheel's in the front, and the hamster's in the back. It forms a circuit.
The hamsters.
That's the best
hamster is the
circuit
wheel.
ever.
She just puts all the different wheels in all the different cars, and then there's just one hamster that runs all of them simultaneously.
The hamster's in her basement.
Oh, and that hamster dies.
But that's when you
The
open the,
hamster dies, 15 cars just crash instantly.
that's when you open the hamster and all the engine parts are inside.
That's some vulgar magic right there.
Okay.
But you won't know until you open the hamster.
It's true, man.
Alright.
Schrodinger's hamster.
Yes.
So you guys are going to get there. So the three of you are going to get to the warehouse. The two of you are going to get at the...
I mean, unless Akuma notifies anybody else.
The two of you are going to get there. Unless... do you send anybody else, or the two of you going alone?
I'll be going. Night Venom will be helping you with the warehouse because she actually knows about as much as I do about the general environment.
And you're probably working till like 8 o'clock because you're working a 12-hour hospital shift.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so we're going to take a quick break, and we will pick up at these two locations. Be right back.
destined to be a master of stealth.
And I'm just like, Griffin! Like he pokes his head out.
And we're back.
The cat though reminds me of when we were doing werewolf at one point, because I was playing a lupine werewolf. I picked up Ebony and just had her sitting in my chair on camera for half the game.
All right.
We are going places.
So let's see where we want to start. Let's start at the warehouse.
All right.
So
It's called a warehouse because it's full of werewolves.
Great.
I pull up on my Harley Davidson.
The warehouse.
all right.
Where?
Yeah, the warehouse is just a werewolf now.
You get there.
No, it's a warehouse.
You probably get there first,
You go inside and it eats you.
and then shortly after you get there,
And that's how the phone ended up in the body.
a girl. We're not gonna. Young woman, girl.
Young woman.
Arrives.
Probably 18.
Well, okay.
What methodology does Gore use to train? Like, I'm assuming she walks
She probably parkours more than anything else. All things
just
considered.
because she can.
Because she knows her way around the city, and it's if you need to get around a busy city block without being noticed, you go over the buildings.
That seems unnecessary.
She's a hunter.
Okay, this is fair. So Gora arrives, and then
I don't know who this is.
yeah, so a young woman shows up.
So
I'm sitting. I've got my bike like parked near, like just outside the fence and whatever.
I'm assuming you gave Gora a description of.
Yeah. So she's sort of a young woman, late teens, early 20s, with sort of long black hair that is sort of free-flowing, with a series of tattoos marked across her body. The most prominent ones are just the words love and hate across her knuckles, and the icon, the symbol of a Smith & Wesson revolver on the back of her right hand. The other ones are
You wanna
hidden elsewhere.
Roll me some esoterica and
Sure.
intellect.
I like that Gora and Galadir have the same aesthetic in this universe.
And she wears these sort of very heavy road leathers,
The exact same aesthetic in the universe.
with the hidden under her jacket is the holster for her revolver.
You don't know the exact meaning of them, but you do know that these are special ink tattoos. It's called the ink endowment, and that this marks her as a hunter.
I sort of look at her and say,
And the
it's the daughter I never had.
the tattoos themselves are like a vibrant green.
Yeah. It's like that. It's the daughter I never had.
It's a daughter you're never gonna have.
Well, I mean,
You don't know who her real parents are?
I can't say never had. I can't.
I'm playing her right now, so
I can't say never had. I can't account for everyone, but you know, I'm sure someone. Anyways.
But you as a wrestling person, she looks like Paige.
Yeah. That's like I said, like the same aesthetic as Galadir, almost to a T.
So, you meet.
Right. So, who are you?
Night Venom, I'm the lieutenant for Akuma.
Oh, okay, cool. So weird shit's happening in and around this warehouse. Apparently, I don't know if Akuma's filled you in on all the details.
Enough.
So I look around to see how many people there are on the street around us, if any.
It's closing time. It's a little after 5. There's a couple stragglers who are locking up, but the area you're in, it's a lot of shipping and distribution.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple people who are parking up semis in the distance.
Right, yeah.
The boats don't ever really stop, but you're just far enough away from the harbor that...
Yeah. So it's, probably want to get inside, tail around. Where's Akuma?
Dealing with something that came up with one of your friends.
Which one?
The one that owns a dance studio.
Something to do with Kai, probably. Oh well.
I don't like the tone you're taking there.
Good thing you're not
Good
there to
thing
take
You're
your
not
tone.
there.
So you want to go in quietly, or do you care about noise?
That's the statement that you hear as you're approaching Skylar.
We're by a fence. We're by like a fence. Is it? What kind of fence is it?
It's a standard chain link 6-foot fence around the whole place. It's not high security. You suspect that they're more, their higher security is the fact that it's a brick building with locked loading docks and steel front doors.
So the follow-up statement that you hear as you approach is, I mean, it's not my fault there's a hole in the fence. As I use forces to make a small, like, half-height shaped hole just melt out of the fence.
We're gonna go with that some vulgar magic.
Yeah, 1 point of paradox. Just for
That's
casting
fine.
the spell.
Don't
Your
worry
point
about
of
it.
paradox.
That's fine.
And as I approach and see this, 3 suspicious characters hanging around the warehouse.
Only 2,
Two.
unless you count the
Oh,
motorcycle.
Sorry.
Motorcycle can be a suspicious character who wants to be. Don't tell it what
Who's
it
there
can
right
do.
now?
The 3 of them.
That's 3.
Oh, I thought you were
No,
with
I
them.
haven't gotten there yet.
He's just on his way.
I'm just walking across town.
He's kind of bad.
I super succeed.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
That bit of the fence is gone. It was always like that.
It was always gone.
Night Venom kind of looks over. Officer, you want to be errands man?
Hi, Skyler.
Hey.
This is Gora.
She hasn't said a first name yet.
That's right.
He can make the logical assumption.
I can
that-
make the logical assumption in that she is
said the
she is a
lieutenant.
young girl associated with Akuma.
She's probably also not awakened yet, so that name probably doesn't mean
Yeah, it doesn't
anything
mean
to
she
her.
doesn't mean anything to her.
Who?
That's an inside joke.
Entirely incorrect.
Whatever.
You wouldn't understand.
The statement that it's an inside joke is a meta joke on so many levels.
So what's the plan?
Assuming that whatever the reason that our friend in the hospital got given a heart attack is inside this warehouse, find the office, go through documentation.
Well, this particular chain of this particular business seems to have some ties with criminal activity. So,
Oh, even better.
so
Officer, would you like to execute your no-knock warrant? I say, indicating the open
Open
fence.
Duncan, you with strangely good timing that happens around here, approach at this time.
It's magic.
It's magic, yes.
Okay, I see them going through a hole in the fence. Or
Mhm.
Well, I'm indicating
you,
the whole.
you see
fence
that he sees them making grand gestures about this hole in the fence.
Okay,
Well,
I stay back.
Okay.
Do we notice him?
Do you?
Roll me stealth and
Perception.
dexterity versus
Perception alertness.
perception alertness.
Do you want me to put together a hunter character sheet for her later?
perception.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that in my off time.
Do tens explode on this?
Yes.
For now,
Everything
for,
but damage.
for now, I'll just use my stats.
Everything but damage and soaking.
2 successes. I'll just replace my dot with firearms dots for her.
What'd you get?
8.
Yeah, no, you don't see him.
I have 4 successes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You don't see him slightly better than the rest of the people that see him.
I don't see him.
What?
You did?
I don't see him.
That's not fun, it's not.
Got one.
Alright, so indicating officer.
Well, right now I'm just
Regular bloke.
right now I'm just I just saw some suspicious people hanging around and I just happened to investigate.
So in that case, I'll step through the fence. I'll lead the way.
Congratulations, you're now breaking and entering.
Yep. Look, keeping an eye out for any security cameras.
Yes, there's security cameras.
Okay, cool. I would like there to be a sudden fault in the security camera's wiring.
Sure. What are you using for that?
I'm just gonna pull out my my stopwatch and sort of looking up at pull out my stopwatch, look up at the security camera, sort of spin it a couple times, and then click it. And the clicking of it will basically turn off the security camera.
What spheres?
That will be forces for electricity.
Sure. Cause a power cut to it.
Yep, just basically cut the power
Sure.
to the security system.
Roll me the spelling.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So diff 5 for using the thing. I'm not using any quintessence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Okay. You're fairly confident they're off. There's no visual indication.
The red light doesn't go.
Believe it or not,
I know.
there is no red light. There is no on-off indicator on these things for some strange reason.
And they don't produce, incredibly suspicious electrical sparks that fly off of them either.
Yeah, some security cameras do have the red dots.
Some do.
These don't.
Typically not industrial ones.
Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately, this is a Metal Gear.
So, click. All right, we're good. And I just walk towards the warehouse. Move for a door.
There's a door in the front. There's loading docks in the back. There are windows on the upper level.
I am confident
Could
that at some point in time, I have worked a concert that was being held in a warehouse.
That's a fair assumption.
From that experience, do I know if the offices tend to be more towards the loading docks or more towards the front?
Front.
It depends.
Yeah, you've worked in a lot of
It
warehouses.
depends. There's a lot of them that are dead in the middle. They can be in an elevated thing in the middle. They could be in front and back.
Yeah, like where I
or-
work,
or-
there's multiple offices.
Also
Yeah,
away
upstairs
from
and
the
upstairs.
away from the facility totally.
I know the one that I worked in. They were in the front. The
Yeah.
ones that I've worked in
Yeah.
have all been in the front. But
Your best guess
But
is that,
most of them would be in the front.
based on the height of this building, they're probably not by the loading dock.
Well,
They're not immediately there.
yeah, that's good.
Middle or front.
So I'll just go to the front door then.
Would I be able to use correspondence to have a look in the upper floors? Or,
How are you using correspondence to do that?
well, I'm not sure how it works exactly.
If you're trying to scry, basically correspondence. So to scry, you can use correspondence, but you need like 3 dots in it.
I think it's that 3 dots to throw your vision.
3 dots to throw your vision.
Okay.
How many dots do you have in correspondence?
To sense from a different location, basically.
It's either 3 dots in correspondence or like 2 or 3 dots in
Okay,
mind.
across.
Yeah, the
2
book.
for, yeah.
Pull up the
Two.
the spheres.
2 for intervening space, so 3 is for a hole in space large enough to step through.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
3 is teleport.
Yeah.
Two might be able to scry. Let me
Yeah.
pull up.
So you're trying to. Do you have any matter?
No.
Because you're still trying to look through a wall. So unless you have some way of.
I mean,
That was
we're about to go in, so.
Yeah.
But just to save some time.
I think it went all the way over there.
It's right next to the labeling.
Oh, no, here's a
Slightly
D6.
underneath.
I'm going to say with no concept of where you're looking,
Other way.
2.
More. There you go.
You're going to have trouble.
All right. Thank you.
Check the door, see if it's locked.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Can it be unlocked?
Do you want me to just open it for you?
Oh, this isn't it.
Yes.
I'll use it for
Sure.
now.
Go ahead.
Okay. She will pull out a set of lockpicks.
I mean, that's boring, but whatever.
This isn't mine, but I'll use it for now.
I'm going to assume that just by taking my dots and spraying them out in different locations. that you can-
Lock picking is subterfuge.
Yeah.
She would probably. That seems like a curtail she would have.
It's a dexterity subterfuge is the lock picking roll.
5 successes. Assuming it's a difficulty 6.
Alright. You can't pick this lock.
Is it magnetic, I'm assuming? Or is it just more
Like,
sophisticated?
there's There's a lock on the outside, but there's
it's dead bolted on the other side.
It's not just dead bolted. There's a card booper thing.
Oh, a card.
It's electronic
card
lock.
Yeah, it's electronic
It's
lock.
an electronic lock.
Electronic lock.
Like there's a redundant key lock, but there you look to the right, like you can get past that, but you can't.
Okay. So I can probably see before I even start to try.
Yeah.
This one's got a card reader. I mean, I can get us in, but it'll be loud.
I look around.
I walk up to them.
Oh, hey, Duncan.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Another
Who is
random
this?
person walks up.
This is
Who's
Gora.
Oh,
Night something.
night something.
Night something.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
So you trying to get in here? You said card reader, right?
Yeah.
No, the card does not resemble a machete.
I was going to do a thing, but if you want to do a
like
thing.
what? Matter, antimatter?
Oh no!
What?
I
Force.
reached down.
Don't cause antimatter explosions.
I reached down into my boot and pull out like a piece of paper, and I sort of fold it into the shape of an ID badge, and I'm just going to put it up against the thing and use forces to trigger a positive ID in the
Right.
card reader. Electricity. That's what electricity is for.
It's a
Roll me intelligence computers to even know how to approach that from an electronic standpoint.
Sure.
At difficulty 8.
I'll spend the willpower for an automatic success. -1 because I don't have computer knowledge. 1 success.
Yeah.
If you mages are gonna,
I mean, it's just all I'm trying to do is basically short circuit the thing to make it open.
Yes.
You got a card.
But
With electricity.
security things, if they short, deadlock themselves.
Okay. That's fair.
Your 1 success means you haven't fused this thing permanently shut.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
if you mages are just gonna keep fiddling around, I have an answer. It's gonna be really loud.
I don't want it to be loud. That's the thing.
Yes.
We don't want to go in loud.
Well, what about
We're information gathering. Loud is not good for that.
How high up are these windows?
Probably
there
also
windows up?
alarmed.
Probably about 30 feet up, because it's in a warehouse.
Having lived here, would you know if these warehouses are that up to date that they would have the windows alarmed? Especially considering how high up they
Well,
are.
if they have a card reader, yeah.
You know Joatan has money.
Okay.
And on an island with this much crime, when you got money...
Yeah, okay.
You got security.
Also, Duncan would definitely know that these are alarmed.
Yeah.
Security contractor says nope.
That didn't work. What you got?
What about the back doors? Yeah, they've got bay doors, right?
Yeah, they got bay doors.
How would they alarm those? I mean, would I know of being a contractor?
Your best guess on the bay doors? So the front doors are going to be much more heavily alarmed. The bay doors are probably... They don't have a lock because they're bolted from the inside,
Yeah,
but
they're just
most
bolted, right.
likely there's just a trigger, so if the thing gets lifted at all, it triggers an alarm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just have like a laser at the top of it.
Or they could have, it could either be a laser or it could be...
It could be a laser,
Wait,
it could be a pressure plate at the bottom.
pressure.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, front door's not working.
Do we have to disconnect all the power in here? Oh.
Security cameras are off, so.
Yeah, I know. All right. So, okay. Looking at the door, I can figure out where the deadbolt is. That the card reader is pushing against.
Yeah, you can make a guess.
Okay. I'm going to take a stance, like I'm going to kick the door down.
Okay.
I'm going to come in and do a palm strike. I'm using forces to change to a magnetic force to move the deadbolt.
Okay.
Back into the.
So try to straight disengage the thing.
Just to move the deadbolt out of the way.
Roll me some forces.
Forces.
And arete.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Magnets, yo.
And
Should have thought of that.
Okay, here we go. Uh-oh. 2.
2 successes.
Yeah, 2 successes. You hear.
Depends on how hard it is. If it's not too terribly hard. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it should-
this is not
it
how
should
they
be.
were expecting to have to do this.
I mean, because it's a magnetic, because
Yeah.
that's what...
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
The electricity might
it's
not work, but
electricity.
magnets will do it. Yeah.
You hear a shink of a deadbolt sliding.
Okay. Now we're trying to
Now
open
it's gonna alarm when you open it because we didn't do the thing.
Because we didn't...
We didn't
no,
figure
you
that.
turned off the cameras.
I turned off the camera,
Not
I
the...
did- yeah.
Okay.
I tried, but I couldn't.
I heard the shank, so we haven't opened the door yet.
Yeah.
We got to turn off the alarm. Just disconnect the electricity from everything.
Can you explain how this ID reader works to me?
Yeah, pretty much. I should be able to give them that information, right?
Like, if it's alarmed, how it would work.
The most common alarm is probably going to be when the door is
itself.
opened. There's probably some sort of thing that whenever a door is moved away from the other one.
So it's like
It's-
it'd be like a magnet.
Like a circuit, basically?
Yeah, it's like a complete
Yeah,
circuit. When the
complete
circuit is
circuit.
broken, it probably gives you about 45 seconds to get to an alarm box
Okay.
and defuse it.
Oh, right.
Can I use, in that case, can I use forces and correspondence to
Figure out.
establish that circuit without them to establish that circuit no matter where they
You
are?
certainly can't. How many dots do you have in correspondence?
2.
Good.
You can make like a pinprick hole between 2 spaces for
Yeah.
seeing,
Yeah.
and forces to let. Yeah.
But basically, I just want to make it so that if this door opens, that connection doesn't break.
Yes. I'm going to need you to use 1 dot of forces to find where the circuit is.
Sure.
So do that first.
Yeah.
First, perceive.
Yeah. First perceive,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
then
6, 7, 8. So first to perceive it, and I'll pull out. I basically take my ring, put my thumb on my ring, and start spinning it around, and just sort of like move the ring around to try to find the information I'm looking for. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
yes,
6,
you find
7,
the information you're looking for.
7 successes.
There is a basic electric circuit about 2/3 up the door.
All right. And then, so with that in mind, again with the stopwatch, pull it out, watch it for a few minutes, spin it around, click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
Yep.
Open the door?
Yep.
Door opens out, and
just in case. You have any idea, like, how intense the security is going to be? Like, this isn't the kind of place where
No.
they have, like, laser
Yeah,
motion
they have,
sensors,
yeah,
are they?
motions. The only... not around... Saipan?
they're not super. They're
No,
concerned
I mean-
about keeping people from breaking in. They're not super concerned, like.
The lights aren't going to go on. They don't have... You know,
If this is anything like the security, like...
This is still a warehouse.
It's
Yeah,
still
if there's
around,
anything
yeah.
like typical security in like
Just go.
warehouses and buildings around here, it'll be a series of cameras on the outside and an alarm on the doors, and that's
Yeah.
about it.
And you've already countermeasured.
Once
both
you
of
get
those.
through the entryway, you're probably safe. There are still probably security cameras
There might
inside.
be, yeah, in this one there might be security cameras inside, but we can deal with that. We can just...
Like honestly, that's
Erase
probably
all the
also more
tapes.
to prevent minimum wage employees from
Grabbing and
things.
stealing stuff, yeah.
Keep an eye out for security cameras. And
In
walk
fact,
through.
the
Well,
cameras on the
we
inside
just
might be a closed
erased,
circuit, so
I
unless
killed
someone's
the
watching
outside
them, they're
ones.
not
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah.
I've killed the outside ones, and we've taken care of the door. I need to kill the inside ones too.
All right, yeah.
So, unless the outside and inside cameras are all in the same circuit, which seems
Well,
unlikely.
we just find the camera, or we just find the computer and just...
Oh yeah, we can wipe the
short-
computer too,
short
but,
the-
but
yeah,
just in
whatever.
case there's
Your,
somebody
your knowledge
watching it.
security is that no one's going to be watching these. They're going to be
Yeah,
loop recorded.
Yeah, recorded.
Oh,
so
okay.
we-
And
Okay, good.
if
we just-
there's
we
evidence
just kill
there's
the
a break-in,
recording.
they check it. But there's no reason to check it if they don't have any evidence of a break-in.
Good.
Right.
I didn't want. I was concerned that there might be like a like a remote monitoring station.
No, they won't be looking at.
No, there's probably some alarm company that's watching the
recording.
exterior security cameras, but no one. Again, the internal ones are in internal loop. If there's an incident, they can review the footage.
Review the footage. And
But it
but it's gonna
probably
be
auto
erased.
wipes every
3
so
days,
many
yeah.
days.
Yeah, summer.
Cool. All right, so let's go in. We'll try to find an office.
Okay.
You walk in. I presume one of you closes the door behind you.
Yeah.
Close the door.
Close the door.
And I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that effect locked in place until we leave.
Okay. You get in. It's not super eventful. It looks like a warehouse. There's a front reception area, and there's a desk, and there's a couple cubicles off to the side that have phones. You're guessing it's the different shipping centers. And over in the corner there's a staircase. You're guessing the offices are directly above you, and that the warehouse is behind.
If the warehouse, as he said he was the warehouse manager or a general manager.
He was the warehouse manager. He was the head honcho
I'm gonna
of the warehouse.
find a back desk that would be downstairs to see if he had if there was a desk that's
Like
down around there that he would have
overseer
had.
station, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. If you go into the warehouse proper, you can see over in the corner there is there's two desks in here. There's one right by the loading dock, which looks like a receiving desk to take stock of all inventory, and then there's one over in the corner that you're guessing is for general operations.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
What sort of inventory does this warehouse look like it has?
Everything. There's everything from auto parts to pet food. To there is a frozen section for food. Like there is a giant walk-in freezer.
I'm going to go over to that desk where he may have been. I'm going to
head up to the office.
I'm going to sit down in that chair and I'm going to use. I have one sphere of time to see if anything happened over the last.
Perceive through time.
Yeah, just anything that happened at that particular place that may have like if when he collapsed or something.
Roll me time, Arate.
Okay, so that's not much, but it's a shot in the dark. One success.
Wait, wouldn't that explode?
Oh, it's a 10, yeah. So, yeah, whatever. One success.
All right, roll me perception awareness.
That's a little better.
Do you want me to bring up that duration chart? See how far back you can go with one success? There's a chart that shows how far.
I don't know that. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be in it, but.
It has a one success. How much you get with one success?
Yeah,
3.
I think it's like a couple hours.
Yeah, it's not very long.
3 success.
It's like 3 successes is a day.
Yeah, no, it's happened too long ago.
Oh, okay.
You don't sense anything odd. But
Okay.
You can't go back.
Right.
What are you doing and what's Gordon doing?
It was a try.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing as he did.
Using the same.
Find Jeffrey's office or wherever he usually is, and see what he was up to during the collapse.
All right, roll me your. You said you have time.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll.
Yeah, I got 2 in time.
Okay, awesome. Roll me your time, Arate.
All right.
So Gora, meanwhile, is just going to roll her eyes at the mages, all trying to do things the complex way.
I was just walking up to the office.
Yeah, go ahead.
These two mages are doing things.
She's gonna put a headset in her ear and call up. Hey, Circuit, I need you to guide me through getting some details off of a manager's computer, as she calls the hacker of the Black Dragons.
Okay.
What am I rolling for?
Arate and time 6s.
6s. Okay.
Presuming you're using your.
Yeah, 7, 9, and 10. So that's 3.
3 successes. Okay.
All right. 3 successes get you 1 day.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Roll me. Perception awareness.
Perception 4, awareness 2.
Actually, sorry. 3 successes get you 20 years.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
Yeah, cause I thought I saw something like that. It was like depending on the
Time
history,
effects.
time effects, and
So
It depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, depends on what
it
you're
depends
looking
on what
for.
you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That depends if
See,
it's a
but
major incident or a
yeah,
minor,
because
minor
it's because
thing.
it's like you get
You get two different
durations and
scales.
time effects.
Two different
Yeah.
scales.
So there are two different scales you can use depending on what you're thinking on.
We're going with duration.
One day. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
What am I rolling for this? 6 is also.
Yeah, we'll leave it to 6.
Alright, so that's 1.
By the way, I can leave that effect on the door for 6 months.
2
I wanted
10s
to.
and a 6, so that's another 3.
Pardon?
2 10s and a 6, that's another
It's
3.
like for the next year.
Roll
the
me
card
the
doesn't-
reroll your 10s because they explode. Do you get extra successes?
Or it does work, but it doesn't matter.
Nope, still 3. Still 3.
Okay. Rolling back through time, you sense that around 10 this morning, someone, came down, sat here, probably 8 this morning, was getting things set up, nothing of interest. Something around 10 o'clock happened, and he left. He got up from the table and walked away.
Alright, so it didn't happen here.
It didn't happen here. You were going up into the office.
Yep.
You go up, and there's a string of offices up on the second level, and at the end there's a meeting room. And there's labeled, there's director of operations, director of, there's the person in charge of correspondence with the mainland imports, person who's in charge of making sure that everything gets out to people, your general.
I'll look over at Night Howler?
Night Venom.
Night Venom.
It's always been Night Venom. It's from the previous campaign. It's been Night Venom.
I know.
I feel like it's part of Galadir, though.
Yeah, Night Venom, and I'll go. So, if you were a criminal organization intent on influencing the politics of Saipan, and had something potentially very valuable stored in a warehouse, which office would you hide that information in? I say indicating the doors around us.
The one that's farthest away from public eyes.
So the director of operations?
Probably.
Director of operations is the most accountable person.
Oh, well then.
No, it would be the one that is physically the furthest away from prying eyes and the least checked on by the higher ups.
Which of those options?
So director of operations and accounting is going to be most checked on. Probably the manager of imports. The purchaser, because he's really boring.
Yeah, we'll go there first.
It's his job is literally to, all right, what do we need? Put in the purchase order. He's not very high ranking. He doesn't have access to a lot of stuff.
We'll go there first.
All right. There's a computer in there.
I'll let you deal with that. I'm gonna go through the filing cabinets.
Okay.
See if there's. I'm just gonna investigate, see if there's anything interesting or weird going on.
Sure. Perception. Is there an
Investigation?
Yeah, perception investigation.
Her first name, by the way, is Hozuki.
Okay.
Because she's also Japanese, of descent.
Repeat that again?
Hozuki.
Would intelligence research be also?
Yeah,
Actually?
research is
It's
relevant
the
here.
it's the Japanese
So can I
word.
use
It
intelligence
literally means
perception? Since I don't-
demon's
I
lantern,
don't-
but it's the
Sure.
word they use for night
Because
shift.
I don't think it's hard to look at a file. It's what I'm
No,
trying to
you-
find.
Yeah, you're sifting through information. I'll let you research.
Research investigation.
Research me some research.
But also, literally meaning demon's lantern is fitting for
What difficulty?
being Akuma's lieutenant.
We'll leave it at 6.
4 successes.
This man has a very boring life.
Yeah.
Or woman, you don't know.
This individual has a very.
This person has a very boring life. It's price comparisons and, records like we switched providers from this person to this person because it saved us 2 cents.
Do I
a
manage
year.
to get on with Circuit?
You get into the system, it's not super well hidden, and man, there's a lot of purchasing stuff on here. The same tedium that he's finding.
Okay, Circuit, I need you to find me the important stuff. I need to find out what these people don't want people to know. And I need you to walk me through that.
As I go through the physical files, not sure what's going to be here.
I mean, he's sifting through the data. He's letting you're not seeing anything of particular interest.
Okay.
Let's try a place slightly more important, and I head over towards the head of operations.
All right. So while you're heading over there, let's switch over to a slightly different scene. So,
I have to get back into the raspy voice.
you drive down at a perfectly reasonable speed and sense of traffic, I'm sure.
Absolutely. 150 is sensible, right?
150 is perfectly.
Apparently, you're driving the van from the A-Team. That
Also,
has no.
150 isn't really as fast. Minivan's not going to get up to 150.
That's
Not a mundane minivan.
This thing hasn't worked on my Gilda.
Even
Remember,
Yeah,
this is a hamster-powered minivan.
But what street are you on? I mean, look at the. I mean, rickshaw. You're talking about
going
rickshaw
as
path.
fast as she
unless you're using forces to like reduce the pressure of gravity on the van.
That's probably part of what Gilda did.
Gilda did that.
She's going as fast as she can right now without actually killing pedestrians.
All right.
Bouncy cars.
Though it's 5 points per pedestrian.
You get there. As you get near the address,
You gotta take it.
you find you drive past the airport and you pull into an office park.
Okay.
There's a bunch of office buildings.
Parked.
Haha.
Oh, there's enough.
And you find you pull into an office park where it's just completely unlabeled. It says it's for lease.
Okay.
This is the address.
Okay.
Akuma, you jog up and you see a minivan.
Well, as I walk up to the minivan.
There's a man outside your minivan.
This is the place.
Alright. Do you want me to go in with you, or do you want to go in alone?
I'll go in alone first, but I'll probably need your help fairly soon.
They give you a floor, or just show up?
Just show up.
In which case, I'll probably be waiting for you on the ground floor, so I'll see if I can find a way in higher up.
Okay.
Alright.
Back entrance. I'll see if I can find a different entrance.
There are windows. Front and back.
Okay. I'll try one of the back. If there's a back door, I'll try it.
Just walk over to the back door.
Yeah.
It's locked.
Not for long, it's not.
Alright. You go in the front door.
Mm-hmm.
It's unlocked. You walk in to a empty, abandoned office park room. It looked like this was built and it might have been used 10 years ago. It's full of cobwebs. There is a room leading further back. A door leading further back.
Okay.
And a bunch of cubicles up here.
Anything in the cubicles? She'll go towards the door, towards the back.
It's also unlocked.
Okay. Open it.
As you open it, as you get near it, you hear the dull beat of some K-pop.
So, at the back door, Akuma is... If his subterfuge skill will help, he will apply that, but he basically intends to sort of strike the where the lock would be at just the right point and use forces to basically vibrate the lock until it clanks itself open.
Okay. Roll me your forces.
Forces...
And Arete, of course.
And Arete.
As you open the door, there's a light on inside, and there is a man.
5.
You pop it open.
I'll sneak in.
The room in the back is empty, but there's a door through which you hear some dull K-pop music. There's a man sitting there.
Please tell me it's TT by Twice.
I don't actually know any K-pop music, so sure.
Gentlemen, by Psy.
No.
It's definitely not Psy. There is a man sitting, playing with a ruby and gold wristwatch that he's holding, and you see your son tied up in the corner with a bag over his head. He's not moving, but he is breathing. And there are two people in the back corner of the room, each with guns pointed at you. He begins speaking in Korean.
Okay.
So, that stunt you pulled.
I'm sorry, escaping with my life? Oh, do I recognize him from
Yes.
before?
Oh, yes. It's him. It's the one who got away.
This is really not fitting to the mood.
He said K-pop.
It is. Nope. That's probably what's playing.
I would like to use the cover of the K-pop to take out the gunman.
They're all in plain sight of each other, and you can't see them through the
Okay.
I'll tell you now.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
I can hear.
It's okay.
So yes, you see.
You sing.
No. Murdering Bonplois, your husband.
Oh, okay.
Murdering you.
Again, escaping with my life.
No. We had a perfectly reasonable offer for you.
Austin trying to do Asian.
Austin, please don't do that
I'm not trying to do an Asian accent. I apologize. That was not the intent.
That was
If I had been, it would have been worse.
that was very much you trying to do Asian.
But no, like I said, if I was trying, it'd be worse. So, we are very, very interested in bringing you back. Seeing how that little trick works. It could be a great tool for the glory of Korea.
Glory of North Korea.
Sorry, it's not North Korea. It's just
It's
Korea. It's
Korea.
the correct Korea.
It's the correct Korea, yeah.
And what if I don't wish to go back?
That would be unfortunate, he says as he pulls out a gun and levels it at you.
Don't you have like a Kaioken or something you can throw?
You are the
What?
Dragon Ball Z fan. You know the Kaioken
I
is
know,
not an
I
energy
know.
attack.
Oh,
No.
I thought you said can, and then I was thinking,
No.
oh, you're gonna use your dancing to can them into submission.
I was
Kuma is.
intentionally...
Is there any like loose material basically lying around, like any kind of random object that I can pick up off the ground?
Nope.
Screwdriver?
Pretty clean. Okay.
It's been empty for 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
Throw, you have a fist.
I
Throw
do.
That.
I'm trying to see
He
what
needs
I
to get
can.
over there first.
Like, you hear talking from the other side of the door, but you don't speak Korean, right?
Yeah, I don't.
You have no idea what
I
they're
know
saying.
It is on the other side of a door though, right?
Yes.
Can I use perception of forces to tell, based on, to sort of perceive the way the sound is traveling, to see if I can tell whether it's coming directly through the wall or if it's bouncing off the back wall and coming back, to figure out if they're facing towards me or not?
Sure.
Hooray! Echolocation.
Basically. 3 successes.
Whatever's playing music is facing away from this door.
Okay, does that include the talking as well?
Yes.
I would like to open the door and, if possible, forces to make it not make sound as it opens.
All right. So, as you start to use magic, roll me perception alertness.
Okay.
Oh, no.
This is gonna be fun.
There's only 2 of you there.
Yep.
Okay. 3 successes.
I could nullify the guys.
All right. You said that your iron shirt lets you absorb.
Soak lethal damage, yes.
Does that? But you said it doesn't include bullet damage.
Does not include bullets.
All right. You hear a gunshot.
However, I can react to a gunshot.
Yes, but right now you're being shot.
I mean, I can catch bullets now, so.
Unfortunately, if the bullet's flying faster than the speed of sound,
Magic bullets.
or just a gun that shoots at supersonic speed, those exist too. They're not quiet. But it doesn't matter because by the time we've heard the sound, you're usually been shot.
However, I can also use my life, and I can use magic to allow myself to soak bullet damage, basically.
Yes, so you may want to do that.
Yeah.
To soak 5 bullet damage.
Life and forces to soak bullet damage. Okay, I made successes, so I'm able to do the thing, so now I get to make the roll to soak.
So, roll to soak, and 5 bullet.
I soak 4 bullet, I take 1 point of damage.
Alright, as you hear the bang, you hear very, very loud music that is not K-pop, and it is in fact the Misfits blaring
Guess who found you?
from some headphones. So, Torel, you're talking to this guy, and suddenly you hear loud but muffled punk music coming through the back door.
And probably a gunshot.
I mean, yes. You also hear that.
How did the Koreans react?
The man smiles. You're a fool to bring someone with you with so much on the line. He points his gun instead from you to your child. He puts the watch down on the table and puts both his hands on the gun.
How far away is the watch right now?
It's on the other side of a table, so maybe 10 feet.
Do I remember what Tarn said about the watch?
Yes.
Break the
Break
face.
break the face. In the meantime,
I have a mage hunter to fight, yeah.
She's gonna make a jump for it
okay.
and try to break the face on it.
So roll me initiative.
Okay. What was initiative again?
D10 plus 5.
Fortunately, I am the mage who needs the least magic to fight this
15.
person.
15. All right. So we're going to resume that as soon as we finish the second shot because this gun does fire 2 shots around.
Mm-hmm.
This you're aware of though because
So I can catch it.
you can attempt to catch it. How does bullet catching work?
I need to cast a spell. It's life 2, forces 2, time 3, which I can do. And then if I succeed to catch, I can attempt to arrow cutter as normal, as if it was a regular arrow. Which I have succeeded to cast. So now I get to do arrow cutter.
Okay.
Dexterity and dough. And basically, every success that I make reduces a success from his shot, and if I reduce it to 0, I catch it.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Get back here. 4. That's a 7, so 5.
All right. And are you using magic on yourself? Not,
Yes, on
not
me.
anything
Yeah,
else.
it's magic to speed me up and to harden my skin and slow down the bullet itself, not him.
All right. So you hit the bullet, but you can't completely catch it. Let's take some damage. Let's take some damage. You're probably going to want to roll your thing to soak.
Yeah,
to soak
I
this.
can soak bullets. First cast spell to soak bullets. Yes, okay. Okay.
How much did you soak?
I soak...
You take 2 damage through your soaking. As you turn to see just this absolute stereotypical cyberpunk guy with a bright neon green mohawk, very expensive headphones, spiky leather sleeveless jacket, and what looks to be the arm of a demon grafted onto him, and a pistol. Alright. Roll me initiative.
Yes. I think I might be going first, unless he's just way better at this than I am.
He
9.
made you way better than this, so you.
Sorry.
He has a really good dex, but his wits is terrible.
9 plus 4 is 13.
Okay. So, this round is going to go him first, then Torel. So first, he gonna shoot you again. Roll me your arrow catching skill. He did not do nearly as well this time.
Good. I can definitely catch arrows. Well, I did better this time with 6.
You catch the first bullet and then the second shot.
This one, I think I would rather snake step, because snake stepping is going to be easier. I still do the same thing to react to the bullet fast enough, but it's just time, and then snake step will be easier.
The 20th edition damage duration chart got much more simplified. It just has the first 2 columns, not the other ones.
So then I can actually snake step, which is a much easier.
Now the
difficulty.
correspondence range is still
Absurd.
6 successes anywhere on Earth.
7 successes anywhere off Earth.
It doesn't go above 7. It doesn't go above 6 in 20th edition.
They haven't thought as hard as Call of
It's
Cthulhu
6,
has.
it's 6 plus is anywhere on Earth. So.
Thanks to snake step actually being difficulty 5, that's going to be 8 successes to sidestep the bullet.
All right. You want me to soak some damage then?
All right. Well, at least he doesn't get it.
He doesn't get any. He rolled 9.
Okay, so he gets no extra damage.
No extra damage.
First roll to see if I can soak. I can soak. Good. I'm really glad it's...
Yes. You are the correct person to be standing here at this moment.
Yes.
You were Duncan.
I am the combat design character here. 2, 3, 4. One more. Come on, give me one more. Yes! 5.
5. Okay. What's your damage level at right now?
-1. And that's for basically everything,
but what's the title for it?
Injured.
Take 2 more.
Ow. Oh well.
What are you at?
Mauled.
Still
moving though. Only -2.
Very close to dead.
Yes. You have 3 bullet holes in you.
Yep.
All right, Holly.
Yes.
You just jump forward and you just punch the clock.
Yes.
Front of this watch.
Yes.
So
The watch cracks. The guy who thought you're about to punch him looks at you confused for a second as the watch forms itself into a giant ruby red humanoid figure, picks him up by the throat, crushes it in a single hand, and then hurls his head at one of the gunmen and the body the other, throwing him against the wall. Before your turn, Akuma, whatever you were going to do, a crystalline red figure kicks the door that you're standing in front of down, and is glaring at this punk in front of you.
All right. Is it now my turn?
It is now your turn.
This needs to end quickly. So, first, I'm going to Typhoon kick him.
I'm going to Typhoon.
But to make this better, I am going to augment myself with forces and time to kick him faster and harder. Which basically every success that I make on the casting will reduce the difficulty of Typhoon kick.
Okay, you do that.
So,
Hey William, I can get access to the RPG archive.
can you hand me that?
I can get access to the RPG archive on the iPad. The thing I
Oh,
can't
did you grab
on my
it?
computer.
Yeah.
Got it.
2, 3, 4 successes. So the difficulty of Typhoon Kick is reduced by 4, which is good because it was difficulty 8. Now it's difficulty 4. Dexterity, dough. Oh, this man is dead. Give me one more. Give me one more. Oh, good. That's a 4 exactly. 7 successes to Typhoon Kick him.
So he has to roll his dodging skill.
His attempt to dodge, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Seriously?
Wow. Yep. This guy hunts you people. You execute a perfect Typhoon Kick. And he, with that arm, blocks it. And it's like you... No, it's not like kicking a steel post. You've done that with this before and it works better. It just... Your foot stops. He then looks at that giant crystalline monster behind you. The monster looks at him and charges. He gets out of dodge.
There's now a red crystalline monster hunting down our hunter.
As he begins to run, you notice the crystalline monster. You notice it's running on clockwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a giant, like, mechanical automaton. And the gears start slowing down very quickly. But...
Well, while he's running, I'm just going to take the minute, breathe, inhale, ha! And with physical exertion noises as part of my focus, I will attempt to heal myself.
Alright.
Which I believe every success basically downgrades one of my damage levels.
It turns your damage from
lethal
to
bashing, and then if I get through all the lethal, it makes the bashing go away. Which I probably won't get through all the lethal, but...
No. It's a long-term recovery solution.
Yeah.
But it's easier to recover from bashing.
While he's doing that, Toro, what are you doing? You just saw
Put
this
a quintessence into this.
thing murder 3 men in front of you.
It killed all of them?
Yes.
2, 3.
Even the guy that had the gun at me and stuff?
He ripped its head off.
He ripped his head off and used it as a weapon against the other
The
two.
head off. Okay. So they're all dead.
He went and...
Yes.
Is there anyone else in here besides my son?
Nope.
Okay.
Just some K-pop and
Turn that off.
rapidly quietening punk music.
She's gonna take the bag off Kai's head and untie him.
He's beat up. He's got some black eyes. He's not looking good.
Is he conscious?
No. And his breathing is kind of ragged.
Step on that head again.
It's okay. Send him to school again tomorrow. It'll be fine.
Shut up!
Bring one of them back to life.
And then
So you can kill him again.
That requires life 4.
5.
No, life 4.
Okay. Since everyone in this room is dead, she's going to go towards the sound of the punk music to see how Faust is
You
doing.
walk out back
Or,
and
Kuma.
how many successes did you get?
I reduced all of the lethal to bashing and got rid of one of the bashing. So all the bullets have fallen
You
out of
see
me.
bullets slowly extruding themselves from Akuma's body and a lot of blood. And, like, most of them were shoulder shots. Akuma's left arm is, like, your left arm is numb.
Yeah. But
Like, it's not searing in pain, it's just sort of numb now,
Yeah.
and you're having difficulty moving it.
yeah, I just had a bunch of bruising now.
Can I do any healing with my magic?
How much breathing do you have left?
I have 4 bashing damage. I'm at wounded on bashing.
Okay, so it'll take you 1 hour to recover all that damage.
Yeah.
Can I do any healing with my magic?
I think once somebody's been healed, you can't heal them again.
For a
Okay.
while, yeah.
Alright.
I don't know what the time limit is, but
Unless you could steal the life energy from something else.
I think it's basically until the end of the scene. basically. So when you change scenery, basically.
Yeah. Like, if you had something to steal life from, you might be able to perform a ritual to heal him.
I mean, he'll.
But he'll heal.
Fine.
Like, he seems to have handled most of it. And you've got Kai right now, too.
Where's the punk guy?
Gone. You never even saw him.
Okay, so the music is gone.
You do see the remains of the golem have fallen into various ruby gears on the ground.
Yeah, reviving the dead is life 4, spirit 4, prime 3. Is reviving the dead.
Okay.
Are you okay?
I've got a handy chart.
I'll be fine.
Nice.
It's a good thing I showed up, though, because our mage hunter friend was apparently here.
Wonderful.
Which, well, he's certainly not going to be easy to take down, but I had that fight easier than perhaps our more arcane friends would have.
Well, thankfully that watch charm gave Kai help.
I got AC. You did. I don't know what you're talking about.
And then you did strike him with lightning.
I did.
Yeah. He didn't stick around to fight.
I did more damage to him than you did.
I have to get...
You also wouldn't have taken that damage as well as I did, though.
Oh, that's fair. But that's because there were 2 people between me and him. So.
Yes.
The meat shields of the party.
I have to get Kai out of here. He's not doing well.
Aren't you a healer?
Yes, but there's nothing for me to steal life from here.
You can perform healing normally.
Oh, never mind.
Stealing life makes it easier for you.
Yes.
As long as you have 2 dots in life,
Like,
you can heal somebody.
There's enough
I do.
ambient energy in the area for you.
Oh, okay.
You just it's one per. You can only heal a person once.
Okay.
Unless you can steal life.
Yeah,
from somebody.
once per scene.
Then
Yeah.
she's gonna do that.
Yes. Alright, roll me your life and arete. No. Healing works normally. The way that Tarn taught you to get around the rules was, by the way,
If you have something to steal from,
if you want to siphon life, I mean, technically you could steal life from yourself.
What's my target number?
6. 6. Unless you have a tool that's particularly well equipped.
It'd be lower than that because it'll be if it's is it vulgar or non-vulgar?
Healing, there's no witnesses at the moment.
So vulgar with no witnesses.
We're gonna go, vulgar with no.
So vulgar with no witnesses, you get 1 point of paradox, and it's difficult. It's not rank of spheres plus 4. So in this case, it would be 6.
Yeah.
But if it was coincidental, it's rank of spheres plus 3.
Yeah.
Because the
Okay, that was 3.
Okay. You're able to. It looks like none of it was like there was no cutting or anything. It was just beat him up, and the breathing becomes less ragged, and the bruising subsides.
What subsides?
The bruising.
Oh, I heard the breathing. Okay, sorry.
he said the breathing. The S turned into a TH.
The breathing subsides.
All right. So you've got your kid.
Yes. Is he still unconscious?
Yes, but it's less like knocked out and more asleep.
Okay.
Akuma kind of pulls the bullet-ridden vest off. I need to get a new one of these.
And we'll return to our warehouse, friends.
So moving over to the director of operations room.
All right. You get in.
Basically the same thing. Searching through the files there.
Roll me the same rolls. While you're rolling that, what are you guys doing downstairs?
I don't know. What else is there to look for?
Did they say where they found him with the heart attack, or was it just
The heart attack. I mean, they probably would have ushered him into the office where the air conditioning is.
okay?
So you don't know where he was.
Okay, they just know where they picked him up from.
Yeah.
Just generally walk around and see other.
Would I be able to follow the past vision of him till I find where he collapsed?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
Break room.
Okay.
Break room. Alright.
It was the coffee.
5 successes.
Magical death coffee.
Magical death coffee.
I mean, it's not as boring information, but it's all pretty on topic.
Nothing that seems out of place or slightly off or just weird. We got a shipment of penguins.
Magic. We need mind magic to see if there's any kind of perception, like some kind of an aura of.
At this point, by the way, you've probably gotten off of work. Where are you going, Dave?
Do they have an estimate on when our manager friend would wake up? Probably like.
Sure. They've got him right now in kind of an induced sleep just to help him rest and recover. But if you want to stick around an extra hour, you can probably be there for him to wake up too. Is that what you're gonna do?
Sure.
Okay. You have no problem pulling extra time on your shift.
I have 4 stamina. It's kind of the reason I have it.
Okay. If you were looking... Yes, they do questionably legal things. But it's mostly tax avoidance type stuff. It's your standard gambit of, misreporting information to get better deals. Oh, we found a supplier and we're going through a secondary supplier because we're really not supposed to be, getting places from this, good goods from this place. That sort of thing. It's your standard...
Nothing that you would kill a manager over, right?
No, it's your standard scumbag business stuff. So what are you doing, Duncan?
I'm gonna head down to find them. Look at night venom. Night venom?
Yes.
Night
Nothing
venom.
in computers here either.
It's like.
I'm going to open that.
I don't think
the freezer.
It's entirely possible that
what's in the
whatever he
freezer.
was attacked
Roll
for
me-
has nothing to do with the business. I was hoping.
Search.
It's looking that way.
Roll me willpower.
Oh boy.
So we'll head back down to find them.
Just straight willpower.
Just straight willpower.
Okay, people, this is where it's all his.
5 dice.
By the way,
Fine.
quick question.
You
If
roll my
I
Artec.
tried to look into the guy's mind again, do I think I could tell if the presence was still there without alerting it?
3.
Potentially. But you're not sure.
I won't take the
3?
chances.
3. Somebody's attacking me. He rolled a 1.
And then I roll 7 ones.
You walk through the freezer. Beef cutlets, chicken tenderloins, ice cream, excavation equipment. What?
Excavation equipment?
Excavation
Like
equipment.
What kind of?
In the freezer.
It's for digging the ice cream.
Like...
Yeah.
Because sometimes the ice cream is really hard.
Yeah, you have to
Use a
Like-
jackhammer to pick it up.
Jackhammers? Or, I mean,
Like-
we're talking like
Bobcat.
yeah, like a big,
Like a
big
bobcat
thing.
and some drills and jackhammers. And some explosives.
Some explosives.
That's why. Okay. So they're hiding them in the freezer. What kind of explosives? Plastic or C4 or what?
Industrial grade, like mining
Like TNT.
explosives, like TNT.
TNT.
dynamite.
It doesn't need to be. Whatever. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be frozen, by the way.
Dynamite.
Okay.
I mean, as you get closer, you notice it's not cold with the touch.
This freezer's turned
It's
off.
magically.
The rest of the freezer is fine. You have forces, right?
And
Yeah,
actually, if the freezer didn't
forces.
work, the first thing he would see is not mining equipment, but the smell of rotten meat.
There's a bit of a bubble in this area preventing this stuff. Like this is way back in the kind of the corner of the
Yeah,
freezer.
right.
They don't
You
want
can't
it
go
to.
to
They don't want. You don't want to freeze this sort of stuff. You don't want to freeze a bobcat.
I mean, it would
because of
take a lot
battery.
more to freeze it than what's in the wall.
No.
Well, no. I mean, only because of the battery,
Yeah.
not because of anything else.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, you don't need to. I mean, there's no reason for all these.
There's no reason
the
to still be in the
drills and
freezer.
stuff. It's being hidden.
But it's not like it's just in the corner.
Yeah.
Unless
Alright.
there's a perception filter on it that you where we'll see.
I'm going to go. I'm gonna.
Can you tell if there's a perception filter on it?
He doesn't have the right
have the
spheres
right
for that.
spheres
Oh.
to be anything else.
Yeah, you need mind, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I've only got one guy with
roll me
mind.
perception alertness. No, Akuma's
We
got
got two
mine.
guys with mine. Neither of them are here.
What?
Roll me perception alertness.
Alert?
Oh, you have mine?
Yep.
Hey, we have 3 guys with mine. One of them is here.
No, I don't have mine. That was what I originally had before
There's 6.
the Akashics also had life added to their affinity
2,
spheres.
3, 4,
So.
5.
We're
But
going to difficulty
I
8.
can get mine
Oh,
really
8?
easy.
Anyone
Yeah.
can get mine.
I can get mine really easy because it's an affinity sphere.
It just cost me 10. I could get mine to 10 light if we get 3 XP.
2.
I use
2
I
successes?
use that 70
Yeah.
my second out of life. So I can catch bullets.
So there's no way to load these sort of things in through load a Bobcat in through the freezer, but conveniently there's a back door
Because for
here.
affinity spheres, it's current dots times
Back
7.
door.
Yeah.
7 or times 8?
Times 7 for affinity spheres, times 8 for non-affinity spheres.
Okay.
Roll me.
Okay. From remembering
Prime.
walking
Prime
in
for
and the
most
basic
people.
outline of the. Does the back door go into another part of the warehouse or go outside? Probably.
It should go into another part of the warehouse.
One of
Okay.
them's moving out of prime,
Figured
so I
out.
can start summoning
Um,
thunderstorms. Because four dots of forces.
I'm going to
3
call
dots of prime
upstairs.
equals call storm.
On your phone.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 2 dots of prime equals call
Your
storm.
phone
Kelly,
rings.
you're getting your
Kelly,
phone starts
your
ringing.
phone rings.
Yes.
Why would they put dynamite in the freezer?
Walk into the freezer. As I was going down to them.
It's like, all right, looking through the.
Do I see dynamite? Or
I mean, no, I point to all the equipment.
You
There's
walk
a-
in,
well, oh,
nothing,
yeah.
nothing. You turn the corner. The Bobcat draws your
The
attention
Bobcat
first.
is like, this is in the freezer, and there's
well,
a back
actually,
door.
no. Roll me willpower.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Roll me willpower.
It's mind over.
5. Difficulty what?
6.
2 successes.
There's nothing over there.
What are you talking about?
What?
It's the condenser unit.
There's a condenser unit over there.
There's there's one of those ditch witch things, or one of those one of, as a digger over here, in the corner. You see, there's nothing else there. Do you see nothing?
I see a condenser unit, which means that whatever it is enchanted to not look like what it is.
Okay.
If it's actually not a condenser unit.
Okay, and there's
Which, to answer your question previously, why would you put dynamite in the freezer? Well, if it didn't look like dynamite but looked like a condenser unit, then that's why you would put it in the freezer.
Okay, well, that's what's going on here. So, back door. Do you see the back door?
Do I see a back door?
It'd be behind the condenser unit, so no.
No, I don't see a back door.
Okay, so I go and stand.
You go through. You see him walk into the condenser unit.
Now that I know that this is a thing, can I counter magic it?
You may try.
Let me get out of the way first.
Well, counter magic is just
I know.
I'm turning off a thing.
He's not going to turn
It's
it into
prime,
a counter.
I believe.
I have prime.
It's
Roll
prime.
me your
Yeah,
prime.
it would be prime.
So I'm going to try to dispel the illusion.
Yes.
And I'm going to. So I'm. I will focus on it. I'll pull out my lighter. And just flick it on. And focus on the flame.
Okay.
And I will spend 4 points of quintessence out of my talisman to reduce my difficulty.
What's your avatar?
My avatar is primordial.
But no. What's your avatar level?
Oh, 4.
Okay. Yes.
My avatar's 4. And primordial, which is the knowledge and essence of the cosmos, basically. So it's like you can't hide things from me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to.
You just saw him hard turn into the freezer.
I'm still checking out the where the guy collapsed.
The break room?
Yes.
8 successes.
Going to do a freezer?
Going to.
Yes, you did.
What happens if you tie?
Ooh. That's up to you.
Tie
goes to defender. Tie goes
You
to winner,
see a
whatever.
flicker.
I see a flicker.
You see a flicker as the spell starts to go down, and then it reasserts itself, but you can see through it now.
I will try to dispel it again at +1 difficulties. You can try to do the same thing again, but
Sure.
it's just increased difficulty. So now I'll spend another 4 quintessence out of my talisman. I don't have 4. I'll spend 3 contestants out of my talisman, and 1 contestant out of myself.
That's less ridiculous of a roll on this end, so.
5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
You drop it. You see equipment, and now that he's pointed out, a hidden back door.
So I've removed the illusion.
Yeah. Oh, good. That means everybody else.
Yeah, everybody else is gonna be able to see it.
So we should bring everybody else in here before we
Yeah.
kick open the door. Just to see.
Text the other people that are in the warehouse with us. Come to the freezer.
You get a text, come to the freezer. There's nothing in the break room. There's nothing in the break room.
I was gonna use time correspondence to see if I can sense what type of magics they use to get them to have them hard.
You have mind magic?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to spend some time charging my talisman now.
Yeah.
Roll
Because it's empty.
perception awareness.
Perception awareness.
Meanwhile, Hazuki eventually will follow Galadier.
You go down to the freezer and you see excavation equipment and dynamite.
Found where they were hiding. It just wasn't the paperwork.
How much dynamite? Like
3.
a case?
Enough.
Cases.
Cases.
3 successes.
Anybody mind if I take a few of those sticks?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a few.
I've already got 4 of them in my bag.
I'm gonna stuff some of
As
my
you say
jacket.
this, the 2 of them are shoving dynamite down their pants.
You know what?
Hey.
Fine.
It's not stealing if they never thought they owned it in the first place.
Yeah, it's not recorded anywhere legally.
Of course not. That's why, you know.
How much dynamite is there?
I mean, it's cases, so.
Well, there's still gonna be machinery missing from there.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Excavation.
I'm not gonna worry.
I mean, yeah,
about
they're gonna be missing their condenser unit.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
true.
feel like they're going to have a greater problem of why is there
that. No convention.
an excavation?
Why
there
is there a
excavation equipment
bobcat in the
our
freezer?
And why isn't it cold?
Why isn't it listed?
Yeah, because I didn't.
No,
because
why isn't it cold?
I only
and-
removed the illusion. I didn't remove the heat spell.
Because here's the thing, not only why isn't it cold, why is it cold? The condenser's gone.
But
It's fair. It's fair. I should just remove all the spells in this room just to fuck with them. Like,
They come in next morning to just all the rotten meat.
actually, that's
Just
not.
yeah, the refrigerator's still on. It's just.
But the condenser's...
Well, no, but that wasn't the real condenser. That was just an illusion.
No.
There's another condenser.
So is there an illusion on the real condenser? And they think the real condenser is ice
No,
cream?
there's a real condenser.
No.
It's just not
they
visible.
just thought there was 2 because it was big enough. That
Yeah, I
they
mean,
had
this
2
is a giant
condensers.
freezer.
Okay,
Yeah.
just,
You know, and
Okay.
unless you're a freezer mechanic,
and
You
then
wouldn't
these
question the fact that
these
there
guys
shouldn't
were
be
all
2
warehouse
condensers.
workers.
Yeah.
That were picked up off the street.
Actually,
And maybe a certain
actually-
manager just happened to question that.
Actually, the Bobcat's probably useful.
Yeah, I think so
I'm
too.
gonna drive that thing out.
How?
Yeah. Why
My
not?
with my 2 dots and drive.
No. How are you going to get it out without triggering an alarm?
There's a back door that doesn't exist.
No,
The Bobcat isn't going
Well,
to. Is that a
it
giant
fits.
back door or is that a personal
Yeah.
door?
it
No.
looks like about Bobcat size.
Why?
It's specifically to get the Bobcat out.
Let's get the Bobcat. I mean, they came in.
It might be alarmed, but
Let's
we can
go-
we can subterfuge, we can subvert that alarm easily enough.
Yeah, let's think about.
You know what? I'm just
what-
going to take more dynamite.
I
Just pick up a case.
I'm taking a case of dynamite and just shoving it in my
I'm just
bag.
taking a few pieces because I'm not going to carry stuff.
There's only so much dynamite you can
So
carry.
basically...
Yeah, I can't carry a lot.
So what are you doing?
How many sticks of dynamite do I need?
You want some dynamite?
I was trying to sense. I was trying to see if I can sense what magic was used on him to.
There's nothing new that wasn't already there.
Austin,
You suspect he was already mind
how
control.
many sticks of dynamite do I
He's
have?
already my
So
control.
he had been like control before.
Oh, okay. What?
How subtle are you being about the dynamite?
Well, okay.
Pretty well,
Your
as
last,
subtle as I can with a bag that already is full of alcohol. And
How much
very
alcohol are you
expensive.
willing to leave behind?
you can probably got about 5 or 6.
Probably got half a dozen sticks.
Yeah.
Alright, so 6 sticks of dynamite.
Meanwhile, Hazuki is just like, it's the middle of the night. If I
Oh, yeah.
disguise
Pick
this
it up.
crate, I can just carry the crate out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go dump a crate of meat cutlets out and stick the dynamite in it.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's a good idea. I
Good
can put it on my
idea.
bike.
Yeah, you got your bike.
I don't need that much dynamite.
I'm gonna
Just
start
fill
heading
the
towards them now.
Bobcat with dynamite. I mean,
'Cause
come
I mean-
on.
Alright,
I mean, she's not taking this for herself. She's
Officer of the
supplying-
law, you
Yeah,
walk in
I
the
mean-
door to see 3 people shoving dynamite in their pants.
I have a bag.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and carry a
Want some?
case for
I'm good,
these
thank
guys. You can let you.
I'm just like twirling a stick of dynamite between my fingers like a pencil.
All right, officer of the law, what do you do?
So
I facepalm.
Welcome to the Reevaluating Your Life Choices Club.
Welcome to World of Darkness. So we found out what they were hiding, and probably what the dude got a heart attack for. I say indicating the stuff.
so we're gonna open the back door and see what is.
Well, let's check and see if it's alarmed.
I mean, Hazuki's
Yeah,
just got
okay,
a creative
yeah.
pork cutlass that she's carrying over her shoulder.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
if you want to load that up into the Bobcat, we'll probably take it with us.
Some spicy pork cutlets.
Sure.
We're just gonna load everything into the
Or
Bobcat.
on top or something.
You might as well. I get a feeling this isn't going to be reported either way.
So you should
Think
remove
you're-
all, remove all evidence?
Do you think your crew could use a Bobcat?
Honestly, yes.
Yeah, we'll just drive it that way then.
Well, we take as much of the dynamite as we can then. Just
Yeah, just
you know,
load it up.
just load it up. on that.
You're able to, I mean, it's a bobcat. You
Shovel.
can put a whole bunch of stuff in the shovel.
Yeah,
shovel.
we'll shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seriously,
right.
I was going to call our
We'll take the
Bobcats
cases for their sake.
Yeah, so yeah, we run a meat packing distillery and we had a bobcat and several crates of dynamite taken.
I need you to say meat packing distillery. One more time.
We run a meat packing warehouse and we just had a bobcat and several crates of dynamite taken from us. No, I don't think they're gonna call that in.
And a condenser.
I'm gonna while he's investigating
It's
the
only
wall.
like 7 o'clock at night, right? I mean,
While he's investigating the door,
Not
I want to
leaving
look
yet.
around and I want to use time and correspondence to see if I can rewind my vision of this location to, because I'm assuming that somebody saw this and shit happened. If not, people that can see this have been here. I want to see who's been here in interacting with this stuff.
All right.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna time and correspondence to rewind my vision.
Sounds good. Roll me your time correspondence, Idge.
Yeah, could I do that also?
Yes.
Hazuki
yeah.
occasionally, while she's waiting, just kind of like opens the barrel of the revolver and spins it and closes it back. If any of you are bothering to look, there's no bullets in it.
Yeah.
So how much do I roll?
Arete plus whichever is higher, your correspondence.
Kalana
That's the
understands.
same thing.
You know what? I'm going to spend two.
That's why I love the
Yeah.
Knights of St. Adrian as
I'm going to
hunters.
spend. I'm going
Because
to use my.
I have
I'm gonna use
tattoos
my
that have
stopwatch,
permanent
and I'm gonna
passive
spend
effects
2
on.
quintessence
One of them
damage
is
ability.
the gun that I have tattooed on my hand never runs out of ammo.
Yeah, I like that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
I only got 2.
7 successes
All right.
is your option of 6 months or however long.
Cool. What's 2 successes?
2 successes is 1 scene. So.
All right. You don't see anything
So,
unique.
like,
You
20
see a lot of
minutes.
a lot of people who work. No, 20. Yeah, you don't see much.
That's the day.
You
You see us coming in and finding.
I see what happened while I was away.
Yeah.
various warehouse workers in the middle of the night coming in, getting into the equipment, opening up the back door, driving through it, and then returning later and leaving.
Just warehouse workers.
Yeah, just various people. It could be warehouse workers. The manager does it a couple times.
Okay. Do I see
So the
anybody
manager
that looks
was in on it then.
surprised
Yeah.
at seeing this stuff?
Nope.
Okay. So.
They said they were driving through the
Coming back.
Yeah.
Let's. Oh.
Yeah, so they're
when the door,
using.
when the door opened and light opened to the outside? Or,
Do you want to wait until midnight?
There was light coming
what,
through
What
it.
time?
Okay. So,
What time do they?
I come back. Yeah, can I tell what time they're normally driving? Or is it during the day or what?
You would suspect like 1, 2 a.m.
Okay. So,
You want to wait till they show up again? You want to just
I come back.
take a nap and get up before they get here
So,
and ask them questions?
so people seem to come in and take this out somewhere about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
That door goes to the outside. Did it seem like it was alarmed, like they had to do a passcode or anything to get
No.
out? Just opened up. They're assuming the magic is enough to keep people from. Actually, what I'd like to do, because panic makes people reveal more information
Right,
than
so
trying to
wait till they
coerce.
come.
We take it,
Oh,
have
wait.
our friend go ahead and drive it back to their gang headquarters, then we hang out and see what they do when it's gone.
Okay. That sounds great. Yeah, we'll do that. And then, and we'll ask all kinds of questions. And
Well, no, we don't have to ask many questions. They will answer our questions for us through their panicking and trying to figure out what happened.
Okay.
Which means they're going to contact the person that put up the spell in the first place, trying to figure out what's going to happen. They're going to lead us to their boss, which is going to be the person that mind wiped our dude, or that brain blessed our dude. And also probably going to be connected to the Dark Horses because
they probably mind wiped him because he was going to.
Yeah.
He killed him with mind bullets.
At the very least, if we follow them.
Got it.
If we follow them, they'll lead. If we follow and listen in on them, they'll lead us to the person that we want to find.
I can stealth. Okay.
So
we'll do that.
I mean, it's not hard to stealth in the middle of a giant filled freezer, too. I mean,
yeah.
Okay. So, hide behind a couple packets of bologna.
Well, I can also make us invisible.
Oh, that's true. How fun.
I can make us
with forces, right?
Yeah, with forces.
You can do it.
You just make the light. You bend the light around.
Bend the light.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do that.
Forces has a lot of utility beyond blasting people with lightning or fire.
Every sphere does, but
actually, most spheres can't blast people with lightning and fire. So.
But still.
Every sphere has offensive. Most spheres, not every sphere, has offensive abilities. Correspondence doesn't have offensive abilities.
Yeah, it does. High speed. You literally tap something and send it at them at the speed of light.
Or I believe we already had this.
You can do that.
I believe we already had this discussion about. Oh, hey, it's my phone. Oh, hey, my spleen is in my phone.
Not directly, though. Like correspondence has to work with other things, like an actual physical object.
Yeah, but like he said, you can just, oh look, I have your heart in my hands. But I teleported your heart out of your chest and into my hands.
Or alternatively, oh hey, you're in the sun now.
But like mind doesn't require any
blast them with brain bullets.
Yeah, mind is directly my mind to you. Forces is elements to you. Prime is I
attack your soul.
I attack your soul. Things like that. Correspondence and matter require a little bit of work, but they do have their offensive capabilities. Yes.
Okay. So what's the plan?
So we're gonna go ahead and hijack this ship.
She's gonna take
it off.
Home. Yeah.
How long did it take to get this back to your hideout?
I'm assuming it's not that far. Maybe.
It's literally the opposite side of the island.
Okay.
So, but it's a small island, so like 30 minutes.
It's an 8-mile island, and it's.
We need to get a truck.
Also, you'd be driving a bobcat down the streets in the evening.
8-mile island, you say?
Yeah.
Just get a truck.
Oh, I can have someone here with a truck real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, have someone come with a truck. We'll load it up, take it off, and then we're gonna stay behind and
camp out.
And camp out invisibly.
And the truck will help you take out the rest of the dynamite,
assuming you'll communicate with Akuma.
Yeah, she gets on her headset again. Hey, Wrecker, I'm gonna need a big truck, like a big one, like hauling industrial equipment, big one. And then she'll call Akuma and let him know what's going on.
Okay.
If you're gonna call Akuma, tell him that if he and Taro are finished with their thing, we'd probably use them.
Sure, I'll let him know. And she gets on the phone.
So at that point, they'll meet up. Yeah. All right. Do you open the back door or not?
Not yet. Oh.
Wait for the truck.
Okay.
Let's try to see, yeah.
Alright, so that'll probably take a couple hours to get the truck over there. Just because you have to
move it through state streets.
Yeah.
We want to try to. We will make sure that the equipment, even the truck isn't here. We're going to make sure the equipment is outside before 1 o'clock.
Alright. I mean, it's 7.
Before.
Yeah.
So do you do it now, or are you going to wait?
Well.
Let's go ahead and get it outside now.
Like about 10-ish.
We'll go ahead and get it outside now, actually. We'll go ahead and get it outside now, and then I can cloak it.
Alright. So you open the door?
Yeah.
That's not the outside of this warehouse.
Oh, it's not.
That's not what?
That's Mount Tapachow. Which you might not know, but you know is the giant limestone mount in the middle of the island. It's the seaside view.
Well, I don't know where it is, but I know it's not here. So I go, oh, that's fun.
So this probably is, since this is immediately after I left that phone call, I'll be like, oh, by the way, new address.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Drive it out.
There are people.
Oh, there are people
what
there?
Kind of people?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Like touristy people.
Can they see us?
At 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 7 o'clock, like
now?
nighttime stroll.
Oh yeah. So give it.
This is a very scenic place.
So yeah, let's wait a couple hours. Give it till 11 o'clock.
Do they seem to have noticed us having opened the door in the middle of the air?
No.
I close the door.
Yeah, let's give it till about 11 o'clock. Let people die down. And I tell the truck, make sure you're sitting around. Give yourself some room to run the block. We'll be ready with the equipment 11 o'clock midnight.
All right. So that's your plan.
Yep.
And there'll be plenty of time for Akuma and.
So what do they want there with excavating equipment?
Well, while you're musing
there's a note.
that,
I'm sure there's a note.
Oh boy, somebody wakes up.
quick follow-up, Dave Tarasu. You get word that he's woken up.
I'm gonna go head over to his room then.
All right. You open the door. He's sitting there, his hand on his head. Hey, they said I had a heart attack.
Yes, that's what it seems like.
They're looking for the journal.
How do you feel, Mr.
Jeffrey. So, how bad is it?
As far as, like, medically speaking, the heart attack was...
I mean, it's a heart attack.
Yeah.
He's recovered from it pretty well, but, I mean, once you've had one heart attack, your odds of having a heart attack increase drastically.
Unless
Well-
the heart attack would heal magically.
Yes, let's explain that to him.
Tell
Let's
him all
explain that to
that.
Jeffrey.
You don't have to explain that to him. He doesn't know medicine.
You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You should
Well,
probably.
you see, I'm a miracle worker.
You should probably cut down on your red meats, but you know.
Well, luckily you've managed to make it through
The worst.
this heart attack with, from what it looks like, no immediate adverse side effects. Obviously, such an incident can increase future risk of heart problems, but it looks like it's the best that could be hoped, thankfully.
Suppose you're going to tell me I have to stop smoking now.
Meanwhile, back in the freezer.
It would help.
By the way, you're all really cold.
Yeah.
Well, we can step
I
out of the
mean,
freezer
hang
until
on.
for 3 hours.
Hang on.
We don't have to be in the freezer.
I mean, Hazuki's wearing a biker jacket, so she's doing all right.
Well, I mean, but still, it's,
Go
ahead.
But yes.
No, we're not.
You gotta check.
Okay.
So wait,
How
when I
long-
Temperature
walked
control.
in,
Oh, temperature
he was kind of
control.
Yeah,
holding his
just-
head.
Yes.
So
Which is not normal after a heart attack.
yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yes, right.
So how you feeling? Has there been any
I mean, I'm a little tired and I got a bit of a headache, but
a headache?
nothing to complain about, I suppose.
What?
Keep your cold.
Is he seeing
No,
things?
Just gonna go through standard, asking, how
medical
does this,
diagnosis, blah blah blah.
how does the pain rate, stabbing or throbbing or
it's
whatever?
it's like a 3. It's a mild throb in the back of his head. It sounds like
Prime as one of their theories.
no, it doesn't sound like. It's not quite a tension headache. It's the wrong kind of pain. It's not a migraine. It's the wrong place. It's not sinuses. It's the wrong both. Maybe blunt trauma from falling on the floor would be your guess.
But there was no physical evidence of that.
But yeah, there wasn't any bruising. From what you can tell, he went down pretty well.
Internal hemorrhaging.
Wouldn't be a 3.
It depends. Could be so severe that you
There,
wouldn't feel it.
but there would be signs.
Yeah, that's true. Too. Yeah, you'd be all kinds of.
You give him the concussion walkthrough. I'm guessing.
Mhm.
Magical.
There's no concussion. So there's no.
Yeah. Just trying to go through my options here.
You give him medical breakdown. He seems fine.
You need to ask him if he's seeing things.
Um,
How many fingers am I holding up?
Yeah, I mean, you do that.
just try to ask him, also,
How many fingers? Am I
if
holding?
there was anything during the day that may have caused it,
Cricket doesn't
any,
even holding up?
if he felt anything beforehand.
No, I was doing fine. had my breakfast like normal. Went up to get a cup of coffee, and
It was the coffee!
Told you.
and I woke up in this bed.
Mind control coffee.
Can I get a blanket, by the way?
Yes.
Was
you already
there
had one.
supposed to be a blanket in the room?
No suicide prevention. There's nothing in this room.
Right.
Oh.
The IV drip is bolted to the wall.
In a bit of this questioning, I want to take that risk and see if there's a mental presence here.
Alright.
Just see if there's a
your
presence.
Roll your mind.
Mind. Difficulty.
Trying to sneak
How
in.
many sides would you bring? How many sided dice would your brain be?
Difficulty 5.
Cool.
It would be more like this one.
No, it's more floppy, so it's really like a 6-sided die, actually.
Oh, that's it.
It's really just a big D6.
Difficulty 5, you say?
Mm-hmm.
1,
Now I want to make like a brain
2, 3,
D20.
It's kind of
4.
like this with a flat end.
Yeah.
One giant flat end.
6 successes.
All right.
There's no mental presence, but there's a little bit of stuff missing from his memory.
Ooh.
So his mind seems to be wiped.
Not wiped. Very, very specific blank points. Very, very masterfully done.
So he's telling me exactly the truth. He legitimately doesn't know why this happened.
Exactly. He's being 100% honest with you. He has no idea why he's here. He has no idea of anything that he could have done wrong.
He's not a threat to himself anymore, though.
Yeah, he's not a threat to himself.
He's not.
And with that knowledge, that's where we'll pick up next time.
Cool.
Say bye, everybody.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Experience.